everything about watching football this weekend. Talking football on Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
And here we go on a Reaction Monday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam, the General Bobby Carpenter, and of course our fearless leader and producer Mark the Shark. Bob, we have reached our way here to a Monday. Saturday's in the book. Sunday is gone. We're back here. What's going on, buddy? Good to talk to you.
Oh, yesterday's gone, Beam, but excited to be in here with you. Fun weekend of football all around. We're getting to that time of the year where all these games matter and matter bigly. So very, very enjoyable. Yeah,
Bigly.
And it's it's been fun and incredibly exciting. So fun weekend college, fun weekend last night all the way till the nightcap for the NFL. Can't dig yourself a hole and expect to get out of it in the NFL. Teams are too good. And it looks like Cincinnati, I'm guessing right now, that they're probably out of the playoffs as well.
Yeah, it was tough, too, because the teams that you're chasing down, the Broncos being one of them, hammered the Falcons yesterday.
Broncos are good.
Yeah, the Chargers sit there at 7-3, Bengals now 4-7. Disaster. It came all the way back, came storming back, couple of missed field goals, too, and then 30 seconds left to go in the game. J.K. Dobbins with the Chargers in field goal range says, hold my beer, watch this. I'm going to go score a touchdown and just end the game right here. And then the Bengals actually got themselves back into Hail Mary land. Unfortunately for them, it did fall a little bit short. Browns got smoked yesterday. You mentioned it good till the last drop in the nightcap on Sunday evening. Saturday evening was the same way. I found myself watching Rock Chalk, Kansas Jayhawks taking on the Cougs, Bob. That game was pretty fun. BYU with their first loss of the year. Kansas goes in there and wins that game.
I told you it was going to be good. It was only a 2-point line.
Yeah, it was weird, right? Because Kansas has been very underperforming this year, but they've been in every single game.
The last 4 weeks they've been pretty good. I think they're 3-1 and one tight loss. Like they've played some really good football here down the stretch. They just struggled at the beginning.
Buckeyes looking good on Saturday. Northwestern chewing up a lot of the clock in the first quarter, but then outside of that, Bob, it was kind of a bloodbath at Wrigley.
Yeah, I mean, people aren't happy. They're not happy about anything. That's why you can't have nice things, Beam. But put the pedal down in the second quarter, pulled away. Defense, obviously, you got to get off the field on third down, especially in the first quarter. First two drives were a little rough. After that, got the offense going a little bit, and this is what teams are going to do to you if you're Ohio State and they're a little bit undermanned. They know that they can't win in a shootout, so they're just going to bleed the clock and limit possessions, and in doing that, it forces you to be ultra efficient on offense.
Yeah, for sure, and that's what Ohio State, they did. They finally put the clamps down. A couple of turnovers, another blocked punt 2 weeks in a row for the Buckeyes.
Well, the blocked punt, this one wasn't quite as an execution thing for Ohio State, more of an execution thing for Northwestern, if you will.
Back-to-back bad plays. I know that the long snapper's not in at center, but straight ball off the butt, and then turn around and punt, and you fire it 2 feet over the punter's head, and you got Buckeyes collapsing all the way down. I'm not sure physically how that ball didn't go into the end zone. I don't know what the wind was doing in Chicago, but that thing going right out of bounds then took you a couple plays, but you did punch it in, scored 2 touchdowns, I think, in a 3-play span, and that's when the Buckeye tidal wave finally kind of occurred for Ohio State. But yeah, it was all in all a good weekend. Really good college football games on Saturday. Clemson surviving a close one against Pitt. The Georgia-Tennessee game, which was pretty good, lived up to the hype. So it was a pretty awesome one. And Oregon flirting with disaster up at Wisconsin. At
Wisconsin let them off the hook a little bit. They thought that was an upset special, and Oregon scoring 10 points in the fourth quarter to go get the win. But Wisconsin was playing pretty well. They're a good team. Oregon, it's just like anybody else. I mean, they can be had. There's no great teams this year in college football. You got to go out there and play well. each and every Saturday if you want to get some wins.
Absolutely, and they did that. Give them credit. They went to Camp Randall, and they came out victors, and they're still undefeated. We got an awesome show lined up for you here this morning. Recap the Buckeyes' visit to Wrigley coming up in our next segment around 6:20. Bill Bender of the Sporting News, he's going to join us, recap the college football weekend at 6:35 here this morning. Radio voice of your Columbus Blue Jackets, Bob McElligott. He's going to join the program. Jackets in Boston tonight. He's going to join us from Beantown. Spencer Holbrook, Lettermen Row. He was at Wrigley. We'll talk some Buckeyes with him at 7:33. And then Joshua Perry will round out the program with us, as always, on a Reaction Monday at 8:33. Before we hop into anything else today, it is Monday, the 18th day of November, 2024. Time for Today in History.
Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, Robert, what do you got lined up for us here on this beautiful Monday?
Well, here it is. It is November 18th, the 323rd day of the year, 43 days remaining in this 2024.
Bobby Days left tomorrow.
That's right. This day, 1872, Susan B. Anthony and 14 other women are arrested for voting during the presidential election. This date, 1883, American and Canadian Railroads institute the 5 continental time zones, eliminating the thousands of individual time zones that were already being utilized across the country, but across North America. Yeah, be putting some things, I guess, aligning them vertically there to make sure there's some consistency among where you're at.
Is it Nova Scotia that has the weird half hour?
Half hour ahead.
Yeah, they have the half hour, right?
Yeah, Nova Scotia is a half hour ahead of Eastern time. This date, 1928, Steamboat Willie, the first cartoon fully animated with sound, is released. 1949, Jackie Robinson wins the NL MVP, batting a pretty impressive .342.
Ooh.
1961, JFK sends 18,000 troops as the United States begins to embark in the Vietnam conflict. 1970, Joe Frazier knocks out Bob Foster in 2 rounds to win the heavyweight title. Did either of you guys watch the Tyson Paul?
I tried to, and it was red ring of death the whole time for me.
Oh, you kept getting the spins?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was,
they fixed it a little bit during the. I'm
better
using air quotes. The fight
it got better when during the actual main event. But yes, the rest of it was very, very rough. Mm-hmm. Shark, super excited for this one. One of his heroes, Jim Jones, back in 1978, the People's Temple. 118 folks passed away. 270 were children.
They brought over large-sized syringes, minus the needles, and they had small plastic containers with a liquid solution in it and a large vat of what appeared to be punch. And he had babies and children go first, and they would take the syringe, and nurse or other people who were administering it would simply put it into the person's mouth, and they would swallow it and then give them a small drink of punch to wash it down. I could understand older people maybe, but I couldn't understand these young people just doing that.
People's Temple, Shark. There must have been something really great going on there.
You more of them or the
Heaven's Gate?
Are you more of a Heaven's Gate kind of a guy? Told you I watched the documentary on the Heaven's Gate. It's pretty fascinating.
Oh, that happened when I was in school.
Yeah.
This day, 1985, Calvin and Hobbes is first published. And then in 1993, Nirvana records its Unplugged in New York City. That's off of In Utero. That is, one of the most, looking at him in that that video.
He was close.
Shark, he had the expiration date on his life was rolling around fairly quickly after that.
Great set.
He was, as I was watching this Unplugged on MTV,
Inspired
was looking at the monitor. It's like he didn't know the words. He had to look at the monitor that was sitting below him to remember what the words were.
Did you look at him, Shark?
Yeah, this was November '93, and I think he died in April of '94. So you're right. The end was near.
That was I think one of his last public performances, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I don't remember him much after that. I guess that was the issue. How old was he? He wasn't very old when he died.
27, yeah.
27, good.
Remember the 27 club.
That's right. There you go. This day, 2022, Bieber wins Artist of the Year, Justin Bieber as well.
Who's Justice Beaver?
Justice is crime-fighting Bieber. Justin Bieber is going through a lot right now.
Yeah.
Some birthdays today. The man they called the assassin, Jack Tatum, born on this date, 1948.
On Sunday, I became what they call the assassin. I was just a tough guy. I was a sheriff in the Raider secondary.
For 9 seasons, Jack Tatum was the most intimidating player on the most intimidating team. He was a safety with linebacker size and cornerback speed.
A Jack Tatum hit meant that you make a catch, you're going to pay for it. And how you pay for it, you're going to suffer the punishment, a big hit. I was described as, vicious, brutal, and sometimes even a little dirty. But I take exception to that. I don't think I was dirty. I just think I went into the whistle blew.
100%, Shark. How about Mr. Stingley? See his thoughts on that. The man they call the assassin, Buckeye Jack Tatum. Graduated here in 1970. Remember that 68 national championship team? Played with my dad his final year in Houston as well. John Parr turning 72, St. Elmo's Fire. That is. I almost watched that again this weekend. There's so much football to get to.
Yeah.
Some more birthdays. Warren Moon turning 68. Todd Bowles, head coach of the Bucs, turning 61. Gary Sheffield, the 9-time All-Star, still not in the Hall of Fame, turning 56. Owen Wilson sharing the exact birth date, turning 56 as well, from Wedding Crashers.
For longer than I care to remember, my business has been crashing weddings. I crashed weddings to meet girls. Business was good. I met a lot of girls. And it was childish. It was juvenile.
Empathetic.
Yeah, that's probably the best word to describe it. But you know what? It also led me to you. So it's hard for me to completely regret it. And that person that you met back at your folks' place, that was really me. Maybe not my name. I'm John Beckwith, by the way. I've changed. Claire, I'm not standing here asking you to marry me. I'm just asking you not to marry him.
That's one of the great lines. Oh, see what your life's like.
Shirts and pants.
Ike Turner over there. So Bradley Cooper stands out. It's so great.
How old is he, Owen Wilson?
56.
Oh, boy.
He was, that was 20 some odd years ago. Just asking you not to marry him.
It's not a lot to ask.
He's probably 44 or probably 34 in that movie at that point.
Great nose. All-time nose.
It really does. I mean, thing's taking a lot of punishment, Shark. Especially during that flag football game.
Crab cakes and football, baby. That's what Maryland does.
Hot route.
I don't know what that means. Just go stand on the other side of the field.
Megan Kelly turning 54. David Ortiz, 20 seasons, 10 All-Stars, 3 World Series titles, turning 49. Passing away today. Passing away on this date, 1806. Chester A. Arthur.
Nice.
President of the United States. Oh, Shark knows. He's getting a brain tumor already. What do we got, Sharky? Give me a guess.
We got the high teens, Bob, like 19.
You're close, 21.
That's not really close for me.
What was Fillmore? Fillmore, I thought, was 19.
Millard's way before that.
Oh, he was before Lincoln. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Johnson was 17, Shark. Just remember that. Malcolm Young of AC/DC passed away on this date, 2017. Gosh, 7 years.
7 years.
And James Coburn passing away as well. This 2002, the Magnificent Seven stars. Some holidays observances. It is Mickey Mouse Day, Beamer, National Apple Cider Day, National Princess Day, as well, and push button phone day. Try to find one of those. Might even be harder to find a rotary dial phone. And those are historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays observances for this date, November 18th, the 323rd day of the year. 43 days remaining in a happy 33rd birthday. It's my brother who celebrated it yesterday in Grand Rapids.
Very good job on that, Bob, as always. Buckeyes went into Wrigley, delivered an impressive performance against Northwestern. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, no crashes to tell you about, but we're watching things pick up on I-670 near the airport and on 33 out in Plain City. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
Men, we hear it all the time. A man comes in to get his erectile dysfunction treated, and very soon thereafter, he tells us that his relationship is renewed. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and you should know that ED doesn't just affect you, it also often affects your partner. They can feel undesired, unwanted, they may even feel like you don't love them anymore. At Tri-State Men's Health, we've successfully treated thousands of men for ED with protocols that have success rates as high as 90%. Which means if you're like most men, we can get you back to the guy you used to be. You could even last up to an hour or more and find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and give your partner the gift of renewed love. Your first visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in our office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654. That's 800-900-9654. Or go to tristatemenshealth.com. That's tristatemenshealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
APCO Windows, Siding, and Decks is a family company my dad started in 1962. We don't rely on sales gimmicks, so get multiple estimates. Just make sure one of them is from APCO.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can trust APCO.
APCO.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. I love this time of the year, the food, the family, the football, and I want to spend it with my loved ones. I don't want to spend all day in the kitchen. So Bob Evans, they got a solution for you. It's the Thanksgiving celebration, their farmhouse feast. They've got unbelievable options. Me, I love the slow roasted turkey for 6 hours, but you could go with ham as well. They've got unbelievable handcrafted sides. My kids love the homemade celery and dressing. The mashed potatoes with gravy, they're always a winner. They've got tons of them that serves 8 to 10 people, folks. So go check it out at bobevans.com.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Great Lakes Kia. Take the winning drive to Great Lakes Kia. Great cars, great people. Great Lakes Kia. Visit greatlakeskia.com.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sportsbook is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news. You can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Our students need more than backpacks and pencils to succeed in our schools and in life. It takes a whole team of dedicated professionals to meet their needs so they can reach their full potential. I'm Ohio Education Association President Scott DeMauro. This American Education Week, let's stand together in support of the teachers, para-educators, school bus drivers, custodians, secretaries, and so many others who work together every day to serve Ohio's public school students. Because in Ohio, public education matters.
Ready to take on the open road? Bobby Carpenter here. Get behind the wheel of power and reliability at Germain Toyota. Right now, drive off in a 2024 Tacoma SR 4x4 for just $329 a month. That's 39 months with 10,000 miles per year. Only $32.99 due at signing. Or step up to the rugged 2024 Tundra SR5 4x4 for just $399 a month with $39.99 due at signing. Both built tough, built to last. Hurry into Germain Toyota where adventure begins. Offers end soon. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road and online at germaintoyota.net. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It is cloudy. Temperatures are in the 40s by the afternoon. Look at this. We are in the middle 60s. It is going to be a cloudy and dry day today. Rain returns tomorrow with a high of 64. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Beamer has a very punchable face, so Bobby punches it. This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here, 6:33 this morning, Bill Bender of the Sporting News. He's going to join the program, talk all things going on across college football with him, which was really an awesome weekend. I mean, I was dipping into parts of games, Bob, that I didn't even know existed. I didn't know that I needed to watch Louisville and Stanford.
Yeah.
That was one of the crazier endings you're going to ever find. Louisville has the ball at, I don't know if it was like the 50 or the 40-yard line, wherever. They're going to score. Game is tied. And they have the ball with 15 or 20 seconds left, 1st and 10, and they lose the game in regulation without a pick or a turnover.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. They go for it on fourth down. There's like 5 seconds left. Stanford completes a quick pass, 15-yard penalty, and then
15-yard penalty, and then the jumping off sides on the field goal.
Makes it a 57 to a 52-yarder, and then Stanford wins at the buzzer.
Like his brain was about to explode.
Yeah.
The jumping off sides at the end, like it's already a 58-yarder. Like, dude, you don't need to block it. He's probably not going to make it. Just give him good pressure.
Yeah,
and by the way, the
thanks,
15-yarder too. Like there's just a lot of room for a lot of anger.
Yeah, for sure. Buckeyes get it done on Saturday, 31-7. First couple of drives for Northwestern, they looked awesome. I mean, 11 plays, 59 yards.
Chuck, where's my game sheet? By the way, we didn't do that this week.
Game stats?
Yeah, Shark normally prints out the game stats and gives them to us.
You know, they didn't send it over. Maybe because it was a road game. That's
because it was a road game, so what, emails don't work?
Well,
do they actually send it over in the mail?
I'm thinking, no, it's email. I'm thinking Ohio State may only send that for home games. I didn't get one, Bob. I apologize.
Yeah, I didn't get one either.
All apologies.
We usually talk to an assistant on the postgame show, and we got a text like, "Hey guys, this is kind of a mess over here. Like that's not going to happen." We're like, "Okay." That sounds good.
No, yeah. It's
playing in a baseball stadium.
Well, it's not only that, you're in a locker room designed for half the people.
Yeah.
It's a baseball locker room.
Bob, you did your team meeting at halftime in the bullpen.
Yeah, they brought over orange slices. And Nina brought over the orange slice tray and was walking around.
I was so happy on Saturday when they flashed to the field and there was that padded wall in right field. I'm like, okay, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Well, yeah, they were going to pad it for you, Nina.
Yeah. I just thought it was just going to be straight Ivy Town. Straight time running into the Ivy.
They wouldn't have done that.
Jack Sawyer with a little peanut punch. First series of the game. Quarterback's running around. You do get the ball back. Ohio State does. And then I want to say, what'd you go, 10? You went a few yards, and Jeremiah Smith had the touchdown, was called incomplete.
Nice ball by Howard. Put it out there. It looked like it was going to be a great one-handed catch. Ball hits the ground. But they made an effort to push the ball down the field. I thought Will threw it pretty well down the field for the most part. His ball is to Carnell Tate, Carnell Tate has the ability to do that to just about any team. And when you're the quote third receiver, that gives you an innate ability to get matchups like that, and you're not going to draw the role of the coverage and different things. So you're going to have opportunities like that to go over the top. And I mean, it was exciting to see him go play like that in his hometown of Chicago.
Yeah.
I know it was an emotional time for him, and it made me feel good. It's kind of reassuring being there able to get that going.
Absolutely, it was. And you just mentioned Carnell Tate in the homecoming. I think he had 25 to 30 people ticketed for the game as well over there. So it was a great day in the office from him. But
to
your
point, Kanye West, he said.
Yeah, to your point, the Will Howard and some of the throws that he was making on Saturday. The one that sticks out in my mind is the JJ drop pass in the end zone. That was still a terrific ball. Only Jeremiah could get to it. And then how about the throw down the seam to G. Scott?
It was nice.
The throw right down the seam where G is just running straight up. I think it was the left hash where he's running up there. I mean, he puts that ball only where G can get it. He grabs that. And then the one that got Ohio State down near the goal line, like there's no window for Carnell Tate that he is open.
Oh, yeah.
And Will finds the spot right sandwich in between two defenders about 6 inches off the ground. And Carnell Tate with sticky hands goes and grabs it. Like his ball placement in some of these were really, really well executed out of Will Howard.
It was. Defense looked good. Some good pressure there. Blitzed a little bit. Sonny Styles, big game for him with a couple of sacks. But it kind of checked everybody. Like 31-7. You wish you wouldn't have given up that long drive with a touchdown. Like the two first drives for Northwestern were rough. Shark, that's what I wanted to see was Northwestern, I think, finished 6 for 16 on third down. But I wanted to see what they were.
5 of 11. Or 5 of... Yeah. No. Because that wouldn't make any sense if they were 5 of 11, because I don't think they went for it on fourth downs.
But they, I'm curious, because just in the normal game, like in the normal stats, they don't have it broken out by quarter, but I'm curious what they were in the first half, especially the first quarter. I'm guessing they were more around 75%, because they seem to pick up a lot of third downs on those two drives.
First quarter, Northwestern was 2 of 3, and then in the second quarter, they were 2 for 5.
Okay, so his first two drives, so end up being, 4 of 8, so 50% there, but 2 of 3 on that first drive. They were moving the ball.
And the one was on the first drive of the game. You had them dead to rights on a 3-and-out, and they ran a draw for about 15 yards.
Yeah, that was not a great situation to have. I was watching on my iPad when I was down in Georgia, and So you didn't get any of the color around it, but I was just watching it. It looked pretty good. I mean, other than that, the first couple drives, you got to find a way to get off the field. And it seemed like that draw kind of gave them life, and they were able to move the football at that point.
How about the day that Quinshawn had, too? 15 yards, 76 carries, and Travion.
Wait, 15 yards, 76 carries?
Yeah, what did I say? Did I say 15 yards, 76? Other way around. 15 carries, 76 yards. The play where he was dead to rights in the backfield. Got low and just said, get off of me.
Like, that's a great play, but I'm concerned. I'm like,
the guy's still in the backfield.
I'm like, the guy's unblocked in the backfield. Now, thankfully, that's why you have a guy like you who could just literally throw him off. They call that D-bone and beam. Just
throw him out the club.
Throw him right out the club. Go pick up the first down. Like, it's a great call. Like, the Northwestern D coordinator at that point, you're like, yep, that's all I got. I got a guy unblocked, a yard deep in the line.
We got the look we wanted.
A yard deep. One-on-one in the hole, and he just gets thrown off of him. I don't really know what to make about that.
Yeah, so that was pretty good. Trey was lowering his shoulder all day. He was running very physical. Jeremiah Smith, your leading receiver, 4 catches, 100 yards, had that nice 68-yarder. By the way, bad job out of the Northwestern defender when he's on the ground with Jeremiah, wrestling him and trying to turn his ankle. JJ comes up gimpy, walks off the field. He does come back into the game. I think he was done with catches for the rest of the game after that.
It was reassuring to see him re-enter the game.
Yes, it was good. He did leave Wrigley with ice and a little bit of a limp, but we'll keep our eyes on that as we get ready for Indiana this coming week. But I hate that play, man. He's down. He's been down for 3 seconds. Stop doing the gator turn. Stop doing that.
It is, and that's what people worry about, especially you get late in the games. Like, why are guys still playing? But you want to keep them fresh, keep them sharp. And I think they have kind of a play count they want in their mind. And when Northwestern controls the ball like that in the first half, like, you don't get very many plays.
No, you don't. And I loved the wing tee, how we're running wing tee near the goal line.
Full house backfield on the goal line, getting those guys going. Yeah, that was Chip loves to do it, and it looks good, and it's been effective.
It has. It's been very effective. The one where Quinshawn ran right to the left side, you got 2 of your other guys in the T formation back there blocking out the way. So all in all, good day for the Buckeyes, 31-7 as they get past Northwestern. Bill Bender of the Sporting News, he's going to join the program. We'll break down the wild college football weekend with him coming up next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, no crashes to tell you about, but watching things pick up on 33 on the southeast side, coming in from Canal Winchester. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com.
Scotty Vegas here, and let's talk about turning back the clock, really turning it back. Awaken 180 Golden has always been a game changer for weight loss for those ages 60 and over, but now we're talking age reversal, both body and mind. Feeling like you did 10, even 20 years ago. Feel sharper, more agile, stronger, and mentally on top of your game. How? In addition to fast, proven weight loss for those over 60, Awaken 180 Golden now includes sleep coaching, falling asleep quicker, staying asleep, daily meal plans, yes, the simplicity, and most importantly, natural supplements designed to promote brain age and physical age reversal. It's a full reboot to improve your memory, clarity, energy, and yes, weight loss. Awaken 180 Golden isn't just about looking good, it's about feeling incredible on the inside too. Learn how Awaken 180 Golden can turn back the clock for you. Put more life back in your life with the solution for weight loss online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Now, in our last session, you said you were hearing noises.
Terrible noises.
Tell me more.
Same time every morning.
Can you describe them?
Well, it starts like yee and then turns into woo woo woo.
Indeed. And does it also come with a
That's exactly what it is. How did you know, Doctor?
This is a symptom of not having an Apex Pros water heater.
Doctor, I know my husband, and he would never.
And the sound then goes yip yip woo woo woo. I'm writing you a prescription for an Apex Pros water heater.
You really think this will help?
Apex Pros, the pros who knows. First you doubt me, then you doubt the pros who knows.
I'm not doubting. I just didn't think my husband would make such
the unnecessary suffering of surprise cold water. I've seen it 1,000 times. Apex Pros even has tankless solutions that provide never-ending warm water.
Wow.
The crazy sounds will go away by tomorrow. Now here's my bill. Now about that sound.
It's Alex, the Apex Bear. We are the pros who knows, the official plumber of the Columbus Blue Jackets. ApexPros.com.
Bishop and Friends.
You were ahead of the game on Twitter. Twitter is the most functional for me. If something happens while we're doing a live show, I can hear about it.
Bishop and Friends.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Football fans, meet your new full-service auto partner, Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. From Honda to Ford to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, we have the perfect vehicle for every football fan. Stuck on the road? Our 24/7 towing and roadside assistance is just one call away, and our convenience service means no hassle, just great service. Plus, every vehicle purchase comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. For unbeatable deals and unbelievable service, visit HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
You know that project you've been working on? Just chipping away at it, dreaming of the day you get to show it off? Then, when you're least expecting it, cancer. And finishing that project actually happens. I would know. I've been restoring this car for years, and today I'm giving it to my granddaughter. It's her 16th birthday and 2 years since my cancer diagnosis.
Mom, you finished it?
Happy birthday, boo-boo. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
ABC Wednesdays. Y'all can play all day. We want books. We want paper towels in the classroom. Bet you want raises, too. I'm still waiting on the paper towels. Abbott Elementary returns with the new season.
We asked the district for more after-school programs. They gave us $50 for class pets instead.
Critics cheer. Abbott Elementary continues to be one of the funniest and most beloved shows on TV.
What y'all doing out there? Taking bribes? Proud of y'all.
Abbott Elementary, Wednesdays, 9:30, 8:30 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
If Bobby and Beamer aren't talking about it, it's not worth your time anyway. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Coming up here tomorrow at this very time, Anthony Schlegel. He's going to join us live. Texted him last night. He sent a sweet picture, which you'll have to stay tuned to on our Morning Juice 971 Twitter account. Shark's going to post tomorrow. He was looking awesome. So that's coming up here tomorrow at this very time. As of right now, though, every Reaction Monday, we check in on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline with our good friend of the Sporting News. He is Bill Bender. Bill, thanks so much for the time, buddy. Always appreciate it. Head to Saturday, college football. Pretty robust slate, Bill. We'll keep you to the point of attention a lot of Ohio State fans watching that game at Wrigley. What'd you think of that whole experience for Ohio State, Bill?
I mean, obviously, Carnell Tate, you got to feel great for him. I mean, what a story that is for him to get 2 touchdowns in that stadium. I thought it was cool to set up. And, you know, one of the things going under, I don't want to say under the radar, Brandon, but unheralded in some ways, the defense is awesome. Even when they give up a few yards, it's almost like, what's going on? I mean, they lead the nation 10.3 points per game. Sonny Styles had an awesome game Saturday. 6 tackles, 2 pass breakups, 2 sacks. That's that all-around game he's been doing since he was here at Pickerington Central. So fantastic effort by the defense to take care of business game, and it sets up a big one on Saturday.
What are your thoughts heading into Saturday about this Indiana team coming off a bye, so didn't get to see them recently, but obviously they're going to be juiced up. Kurt Cignetti with a fresh new contract as they try to vie for their 11th consecutive win.
Well, this is huge for them. I mean, it's a perception game. I think we talked about it a little bit last week that I think they're in if they lose, but the danger they run here is that if Ohio State beats them 42-7, something like that, that 5th SEC team that's trying to get into the playoff right now, Tennessee, is going to come full all-out attack the Hoosiers because they haven't beat a ranked team. But again, top 10 defense here. Curtis Rourke having a fantastic year. That's going to be the key for Ohio State, getting after him, not letting him get in a rhythm. He's very good at the back shoulder fade throw with his receivers. So that's something to watch within the game. And I think it's going to be a classic. I actually think it's going to be a little bit like the Penn State game, where you've got these 2 really good defenses, and somebody's going to have to score at some point.
Bill, before we move on to the rest of the slate in college football, Bob mentioned the shiny new contract that Curt Cignetti earned at Indiana. What does that state to you, just about the current state of affairs about Indiana football? I mean, you're only year one into the Curt Cignetti experience. He is 10-0. You got a top 5 matchup against Ohio State on Saturday. Was it an 8-year, $80 million contract or something along the lines of that? Like, that's a nice deal, and I think that's finally Indiana saying, you know what, guys, we're going to be serious contenders here, hopefully for a little bit of time.
Well, and it shows a little bit of a shift. I mean, what do you think of with Indiana basketball school? Yeah. They haven't been to the Final Four in a very long time, I believe, since Mike Davis was coach. So it does show when schools commit to football, that's the one that it makes a ton of money for the school. And, Curt Cignetti, you're going to hear the phrase Google me a lot this week with him. But he when you do that, he wins. He does win a lot of games, and it's a good thing for him to lock him up because otherwise, some SEC school or another larger school is not going to get him now.
Speaking of basketball schools getting wins, what does Kansas beating BYU do to everything?
Oh, it just kept me up later on Saturday night. Honestly, no, they played well, and they're in a full spoiler mode right now, Bobby. They played very well in that game. They've caught on. They look like the team I thought they would be in August, and BYU kind of ran a little bit out of luck, shakes up the Big 12 a little bit. It actually, when you watch them, I mean, Colorado looks like the best team in the Big 12 right now. And we're going to find out if they are because they get Kansas now. And if Ohio State, Indiana is the biggest game of the week, the second biggest game of this week is BYU, Arizona State, and Tempe. And that's another thing I didn't think I was going to say in Week 13, that Arizona State and Indiana would be in the 2 biggest games of the week. They were 3-9 last year.
He is Bill Bender of the Sporting News with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. What do you make of Oregon's performance at night in Camp Randall against Wisconsin, who really pushed them to the wire, Bill?
Yeah, and for Wisconsin, the conservative in a couple spots. I mean, we've seen that with Ohio State over the years, and you've seen that with Michigan over the years, go into Camp Randall at night, and you can get caught up in it. And, credit to Luke Fickell for having an attack that they were able to slow Oregon down a little bit. They beat them in time of possessions. They were getting off the field on 3rd down. Dylan Gabriel struggled a little bit. But I think at the end of the day for Oregon, they won the game. And they got out of their last games at home. And, most people, I haven't seen if there's a hypothetical line. If Ohio State plays Oregon in the Big Ten championship game, Oregon might be the higher seed, but Ohio State will be favored in that game. I think they will. Maybe it's because I live here. I don't know. What do you guys think? Don't think they'd be favored by a couple points?
I would imagine on a neutral field, given the fact they lost by a point out there, a very competitive game. It sounds like a -2.5 situation, maybe -3, somewhere in there. You could see.
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
I mean, that kind of sounds about right to me right now. I'm sure you could probably go and look for some sort of early line at this point, Bill, with it all. What are you making of Wisconsin firing Phil Longo as their offensive coordinator and Luke Fickell making that move after the game?
I think they'll maybe go back to a hybrid of what Luke Fickell did at Cincinnati with the offense he had around Desmond Ritter and Wisconsin football. When you think of Wisconsin football, you think of offensive linemen, tailbacks, tough to win at Camp Randall. And, it's just with Wisconsin over the years in general, the difference has been the quarterback position. I think they need to find their quarterback. They've used the portal the last couple of years, and it hasn't worked out. And bring somebody in that can do it that way. I guess the counter to that would be the best quarterback they've had in the last 25 years was a transfer guy when it wasn't as popular with Russell Wilson. But they need a difference maker at quarterback to push them up that middle class in the Big Ten.
Bill, can you explain to me the SEC championship situation like I'm 5 years old? Because you have Texas with only the 1 loss, 1 in conference, and then the whole rest of everything is just kind of a mess down there in SEC land.
So that was the other thing that kept me up late on Saturday, and that was we figured that out, actually. I have a pretty good idea what I think is going to happen. If Texas beats Texas A&M, they'll be one of the teams. And if there's this tie with 4 or 5 two-loss teams, you'll have to do – you may have to do this with the Big Ten too. I don't think you will, but you get down to tiebreaker number 4, which is common the winning percentage of their SEC opponents. So you got to go through all their opponents. We got a nice little spreadsheet at sportingnews.com, and it's going to end up probably being Alabama. Their conference opponents of those 4 or 5 schools have the best record right now. Now they can change over the last couple of weeks. It's very similar to the Big Ten East tiebreaker that we were talking about last year, had Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State all finished with 1 loss.
What is Georgia to you?
Hard to pick their games because the Georgia that showed up Saturday night, you're like, yeah, they could win a national title because Carson Beck wasn't turning the ball over. Their defense gave up no points in the second half, and just the same old. You're kind of used to seeing that. The thing they're not is as dominant as they have been in years past. Yeah, they have another outside the top 10 defense around 14. Their offense is okay. They're good in big games because they have the experience of it. I think the advantage for them going into the playoff is they have played a tough strength of schedule. You know, when you've played Ole Miss and Alabama and Tennessee and Clemson, Texas, they're not going to shy away from a playoff game. So I guess that's the one thing that's going to help them in the 12th because they'll probably get in if they win these next 2. Is there any pressure on Brian Kelly at LSU after dropping that game to Florida, Bill? I think so. I think it'll be very real next year because, 3 losses, 4 losses. Every time they're in one of these games now, something goes viral. I don't know if you saw the exchange with one of his players with some not suitable for work language in there. And I think it'll amp up the pressure because it's all about fit in college football. And you wondered how he would fit down there. And as those losses pile up, and if they're not involved in the 12-team playoff, then next year, then I think some of that heat will come down on him. Hey, I told you yesterday when I was texting you to ask if you were good at 6:33 for today to come on. There was no reason for you to be worried about the Packers-Bears outcome, Bill. So I was thrilled for you yesterday afternoon around 4:00. Caleb Williams played well though. I mean, silver lining for you is, if he plays like that and gets the ball out on time, it doesn't matter if it's Green Bay or whoever. If they pair him with the right offensive coordinator, they'll be good. But, I'd be lying if I didn't say I watched that field goal times during the Bengals game last night. I don't blame you. If I was on the other side, I think I would have. It's been 6 years since the Bears have beaten the Packers, and it feels like it's been 15. Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here. Enjoy your Victory Monday, and we'll check in again next week, all right? Yeah, I will. I'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks so much for having me. There he goes, our good friend of the Sporting News, Bill Bender, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Bobby just mentioned it. Fick fired one of his staffers up at Wisconsin. We'll get into that in Quick Hitters coming up next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we are watching one crash at the intersection of Refugee and Courtright Road. Crews are on scene working to clear this up right now. The rest of your Central Ohio roadways moving along up to speed. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Green & Sons. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. Green & Sons will help you find your next Kubota tractor. Located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville. And online at greenandsons.com.
Reichert Chevy's dealing in Dublin.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Shop hundreds of vehicles at ReichertChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. We're dealing.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
With surgery and drugs being the main options to treat chronic joint pain, that left orthopedic surgeons like Dr. Ray Tessner thinking,
geez, wouldn't it be nice if we can have another form of treatment that eliminates some of the downside and has a bigger upside as we learn more about it?
And then he found it. Regenerative medicine, an exciting, fast-growing approach to dealing with pain using healing agents from your own body.
Well, it's using the miracle miracle benefits of the human body to help encourage healing.
Today, you'll find Dr. Tessner at QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving patients lasting relief from joint pain in their knees, hips, shoulders, and back.
It's one of the best management tools that has come around in a long time.
Finally, options other than surgery and steroids. All natural regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics. Learn more. Call today for your free consultation.
Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
APCO, windows, siding, and decks. Business First says we're the largest remodeler in town. Our philosophy is simple. We don't rely on sales gimmicks to get our customers. We rely on our reputation.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can trust APCO.
APCO.com.
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
Meijer knows that Thanksgiving is a time to come together, eat together, and share together. During the week of Thanksgiving, November 24th through the 30th, when you buy Meijer brand foods, our Simply Give program will feed up to 4 million neighbors in need. So when you bring that perfectly fluffed stuffing to the table, the cranberry sauce and green bean casserole, you're actually bringing more good to more neighbors. Let's bring more good to Thanksgiving with Meijer brand and Simply Give. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com for details.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
This is Ryan Krieger, and at Krieger Ford, we know life's busy. Let us handle your car care. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or have our technicians come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
Bobby and Moana, together again.
Can I get a Chee-hoo?
This Thanksgiving, if you can watch one movie,
Hey, you wanted to come this time.
make sure it's
Moana.
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 Moana. You might want to hold on.
Disney's Moana 2, rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Only in theaters November 27th. Tickets available now.
Great game. You got into the end zone again and again. How'd it feel?
Awesome. Like getting a new iPhone again and again. I just got the new iPhone 16 Pro today.
Really?
Yeah. And with AT&T Next Up Anytime, I can upgrade early every year.
Very nice.
Feel like an MVP again. Learn how to get the new iPhone 16 Pro on us and the latest iPhone every year with AT&T Next Up Anytime. AT&T. Connecting changes everything. Offer subject to change. Additional fees, terms, and restrictions apply. $0 offer may not be available on future iPhones. Next Up Anytime feature may be discontinued at any time. See att.com/iPhone for details.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, nice and mild, but it will remain cloudy, high 63. Tonight, we dip down to around 52. And then as we head into your Tuesday, look for showers with a high of 64. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Miss a minute of the show?
Check out the podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Type in Morning Juice and subscribe.
This is Morning Juice.
We're here on The Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can always visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sharky, what? Happy Reaction Monday to you.
Yes, I love Reaction Mondays. We get to react to all the wonderful things that happened over the weekend. The Wisconsin Badgers have been to a bowl game 22 seasons in a row. Currently, that trails only Georgia at 27 and Oklahoma at 25. But Whiskey is in jeopardy of missing bowl season. The Badgers are 5-5. They need one more win to become bowl eligible. They have Nebraska and Minnesota yet, so it's very doable. But Coach Luke Fickell isn't taking any chances. The Badgers rank 97th in scoring, 102nd in passing. They could have knocked off number 1 Oregon on Saturday, but had only 3 points and 88 yards in the second half. So yesterday, Fick fired his offensive coordinator, Phil Longo. No interim coordinator has been announced yet, but Bobby Fickell is he's a very loyal guy. I'm sure this was a tough decision for him.
Yeah, he doesn't fire guys on a whim, and so this has been building. The thing is, they've had quarterback issues the last 2 years. Yeah. They lost Van Dyke earlier, like first game of the season, second game of the season. I mean, they played a pretty tough schedule. This was a game, though, if you win this, it solves a lot of problems. Number one, you're bowl eligible, but then you just beat the number one team in the country. And so it would have been a huge program win for him to be able to get that done. Unfortunately, they fall just a little short, and they're not able to get anything going in the second half on offense. I mean, Longo, I wouldn't say his tenure there has been successful, but like they were trying an entire revamp, and Wisconsin isn't a school that you're going to live in the portal, and so there's a lot of issues that they're going to have, and like I still think Fick's the right guy for that job. I think he's continuing to have success and he'll be put in a good spot, but there is a lot of work that needs to be done, and they've got to find a way to win one, if not both, of these final two games.
Yeah, their program identity is run the damn ball, right? I mean, that's what they're built off of. Run the ball, but yeah, unfortunately for Phil Longo, he's no longer going to be with the program. I was watching a little bit of the Nebraska-USC game on Saturday, Saturday afternoon, which then turned into Saturday evening, but it's dark out at 6, so the fourth quarter in that game felt like it should have been 11 o'clock at night. I was shocked to see, and I don't know why I was so surprised to see this, that the longest bowlless streak in the Big Ten is currently Nebraska right now. It's been 7 straight years since they've been to a bowl game. I mean, that is crazy. And Matt Rule had them rolling earlier on in the year, Bob. I mean, they got to 5 wins in their first 6 games, and now they've lost to Indiana. They lost to Ohio State. They lost to UCLA. They just lost a pretty heartbreaking loss to USC.
I thought they were going to beat USC.
I did too.
They should have.
I did too. I thought they were going to get that done, and fortunately they couldn't. And then they got Wisconsin coming up here this week, and then it's Iowa to end the year for them. That's a Black Friday game, right? Mm-hmm. Traditionally, always Black Friday is when they play that game. So, yeah, I had a hard time comprehending that it's been 7 years since Nebraska had made a bowl game. Like, that's a wild thing.
It's the thing.
I'm not going to spend a lot of time setting up the story because I want to give Beamsy a good long chance to respond. Let's just say the Bears snatched the Bears snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. Coach Eberflus played for the 46-yard field goal, running out the clock, field goal blocked, Packers hang on. And Beamer, after the game, Coach, he kind of deflected blame. He said there was nothing wrong with his clock management.
Guys, I want you to know that Shane Waldron was the scapegoat. Matt Eberflus is the problem, all right? If you didn't watch any of the Bears-Packers game, you didn't need to. Packers go right down. They get the ball back, trailing. Get the ball back. They go up 1. They could have got a 2-point conversion, which would have given them a 3-point lead. But doesn't matter. Don't get the 2-point conversions. The Packers are up 1. They go right down the field, Bob, score a touchdown to take the lead. It's at Soldier Field. It's been since 2018 since the Bears have won this game. Caleb Williams does some really nice things on their final possession of the game. I mean, it's 3rd and 18. Caleb fires a pass to Rome Odunze. They pick up 15, and then a 4th down completion. He throws a nice fade ball to Rome again. And so now
it wasn't built in a day, B.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't built in a day. And so they get the ball down to the 30-yard line. It was good. My fantasy name is All Throws Lead to Rome this year.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, thank you. Pretty good, I thought. And so they get the ball at the 30-yard line. There's 30 seconds left on the clock. Tom Brady's doing this game. He was like, I'd like to run a couple more plays here, Coach. Like, I'd like to get something. It's 30 yards, not a chip shot field goal. So the time's just winding down. Okay, I guess they're going to go for the 47-yarder for the Bears to win. What do you get? Karma. Blocked. What are you doing?
So
you saw last night in the Bengals game. If you just run a couple more plays, what could possibly happen? Not to say that the Packers defense would have not bowed up like the Bengals didn't do last night, but a chip shot field goal, a lot more makeable than a 47-yarder. By the way, your kicker prefers it on the right hash. You're on the left. What are you doing?
You have time to get it over.
You have time and you have a timeout. Instead, you just bleed 27 seconds off the clock and you lose. That's what you get.
I'll never understand it, Beam. I watched that and I just laughed because I told you Eberflus isn't. I'm going to try to. I didn't think he was the best coach around.
Hey.
I mean, there's
you put that very nicely.
More graphic terms that I've heard used to describe him from guys who have played for him. And the fact that he's showing them exactly what they knew him to be. He was revealing himself to the world, Beam.
TNT is going away as far as an NBA partner, but the award-winning Inside the NBA won't disappear. Charles, Shaq, Kenny, and Ernie were expected to fall by the wayside at the end of this season, but a new deal has moved the Fab Four to Disney, which means ABC, ESPN. That begins next season, and Bob, the show will still be produced by TNT Sports.
Really? So all the folks that, you know what, I bet they told them that's what they wanted. I bet they put that in the deal that they kept the same production team. Because you heard Charles talk about that, the whole crew, everybody they got there, their family. And, I mean, a lot of those guys have plenty of money. Like Shaq doesn't need to do that. He does it so he can laugh at Charles.
Yeah.
And they just want to make sure that everybody's got a job. So good for them for finding a way to get that done.
Yeah, really, really happy about that. I'm excited you told me that too, Shark, because the last thing I need is like Stephen A. Smith on that desk. I don't need that. Just let those four guys do their show. I mean, it's a reason why it's won so many Emmys, and it's the best sports show we've got going for us. The Browns got by a guy named Payson. Or Tayson. I don't know what his name is. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Still watching crews clear up a crash at the intersection of Refugee and Courtright Road. Other than that, the rest of your Central Ohio interstate's moving along just fine. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors. Voted by Columbus homeowners as the leading and most trusted window brand. Find out why at PellaColumbus.com or at their brand new Polaris showroom.
At Humana, our Medicare Advantage plans give you coverage and care you can count on, along with guided support to help you feel your best. Our licensed sales agents are ready to help you understand your options and choose a Medicare Advantage plan. You'll feel confident because you have plan options that fit your needs. You could have a plan with a $0 premium and even personalized care from a wide network of doctors, or all-in-one plans that may include medical and prescription coverage, as well as routine dental, vision, and hearing. When it comes to the benefits and support you need, Humana has Medicare Advantage plans made for your well-being and your wallet. Learn more at gethumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a Medicare Advantage HMO and PPO organization with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal.
With the new made-in-house breakfast sandwiches at United Dairy Farmers, mornings are made for you. So whether you're heading into work or working from home, dropping off the kids at school or the dog at daycare, you're in for a treat, like a made this morning Canadian bacon, egg, and cheese croissant, and special seasonal donuts fresh from our family bakery. Add a cup of coffee you can make as bold and creamy as you like, and your morning's gonna be
perfect.
United Dairy Farmers breakfast, made for you.
The best mornings
In the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Good mornings make for better days.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
This college football moment is brought to you by Serve Pro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. For instance, on September 21st, 2019, UCLA trailed Washington State 49-17 with under 7 minutes left in the third quarter. From that point forward, the Bruins erased that 32-point deficit, outscoring the Cougars 50-14 to win 67-63.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning, I'm Mark the Shark. The 12th ranked OSU women struggled to beat Belmont 67-63 yesterday in Nashville. The Buckeyes trailed by 9 points with just over 5 minutes to play, but went on a 13-0 run to take back the lead. Cody McMahon scored 21 points. In the NBA, the Cavaliers have become the fourth team in history to start a season 15-0. Last night, Darius Garland, Ty Jerome, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen combined for 93 points as the Cavs topped Charlotte 128-114. 6 of the Bengals' 7 losses this season have been by 7 points or less, including last night's 34-27 defeat against the Chargers. In New Orleans, Taysom Hill rushed for 138 yards and 3 touchdowns, caught 8 passes for 50 yards, and returned to kickoff 42 yards as the Saints whipped the Browns 35-14. This SportsCenter is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates as low as 9.9% APR with a Visa Platinum credit card. Apply at bmifcu.org/Visa.
What's the point of watching football all weekend if you can't overanalyze it?
Reaction Monday is sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Panic and passion. Is that a motivational quote or the title of an adult romance novel? You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hour 2 of the program for us on a Reaction Monday. Brandon Bean, Bobby Carpenter, Mark the Shark. Coming up here 7:20 this morning. Jackets in Boston tonight.
Put on your jacket.
Taking on the Bruins. Radio voice of your Columbus Blue Jackets, Bob McElligott. He's going to join the program coming up here at 7:20. And then 7:33, Spencer Holbrook, Lettermen Row. He was at Wrigley. Buckeyes get it done 31-7. He's going to join the program. We'll break down that game with him coming up here a little bit later this hour.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Jackets split over the weekend, 6-2. They beat the Penguins on Friday at Nationwide Arena. Get smoked by the Habs on Saturday up in Montreal. Again, they're in Boston tonight, 7 o'clock. 6:30 coverage begins for us here on The Fan. Late night Friday evening, Buckeye men's basketball go down to Texas A&M 78-64. Back at it this week against Evansville tomorrow at home over at the Shop. Buckeye women's basketball 67, Belmont 63. Tough scare there for the Buckeyes. They were down in Nashville, I believe is where Belmont is located at, and they go down there, play a road game, and they do come out the victor, 67-63. Nice little road trip for you if you're a Buckeye women's basketball fan, at OU to take on the Bobcats on Wednesday.
Wait, at OU?
At OU. Playing Belmont on the road, and then you're traveling a little bit south down to Athens to play the Bobcats. That's a fun game.
That is a fun game. I like the fact that it's down there, too. That's pretty unique.
Absolutely.
It's a good time for them down at the combo.
What do they have this week in Maction? Let's see. Could you do potentially a double?
You got some at home?
They're at Toledo. The Bobcats are at Toledo on Wednesday. That would have been fun.
Make a weekend out of it?
Make a weekend on a Wednesday night. Plenty of people have done that before.
Sounds like a lot.
It's been a week down there one evening.
I don't know if I can handle any more of those days. Last night I was going to bed. It was terrible. I had a dream that I was getting a calf cramp, and I woke up and I was actually getting a calf cramp. My left calf is incredibly sore today.
Big fella's dehydrated.
You know what? I usually drink a lot of water, and I did drink a decent amount yesterday. Probably not as much as I normally do. It was a little bit of a long trip, flying to Atlanta and then coming back home. By the way, the traffic in Atlanta, the Atlanta area, I will tell you,
death.
It isn't that far from Atlanta to Athens, but it takes forever and a day to get there. And it was 6:30. We were 40 miles outside of the metro, and it was still traffic everywhere. I don't understand it. It was brutal.
Yeah, it's not that far out.
I could never live there. I couldn't do it. We stopped by Hartsock's house, which, by the way, Ben Hartsock has every award he's ever won up in his house. I'm not kidding you, 4-H ribbons from 4th grade. And he goes, I ran into a guy. He goes, what are you going to leave him in a box for? Put him up. And so he has this giant.
Good point. Why put him in a box? Why keep him in the box when I can put him on the mantle?
His Lineman of the Week plaques hanging up from Ohio State. I mean, it's just there's so much that is all there. And it's amazing. Then he has I always used to make fun of him when we played because he was like a tourist when we'd go to bowl trips and everything else. And
let me snag a media guide.
Well, he had pictures. No, he would take pictures of everything. And was showing me his final game at Ohio State, which was the Kansas State Fiesta Bowl. And he's showing me the thing. He has legit pictures of me in there. I'm 2 years below him. And Ben was just walking around taking pictures of everybody.
It's just the kind of guy he is.
Yeah.
Does he still do that? Is he still a picture guy?
It's a great question. I'm guessing he probably is. Maybe not to that degree. And maybe he just wanted to kind of, immortalize his collegiate career as well.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but he has, just so much stuff he's winning in middle school, elementary school, all his stuff from Ohio State. The best thing is he has all his game balls up, and he has his one touchdown balls. Like you and me have as many touchdowns together in the NFL. We're equal, Ben. He played offense. So it was.
Where does he live at?
Gwinnett County.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well,
somewhere
Atlanta,
on the east side, on the way towards Atlanta, but not, or the way
from Athens.
On the way from Atlanta to Athens. But it's a little bit further north, I guess.
So when Mike lived there, when Mike Bennett lived in Atlanta, he lived in Lawrenceville, which is, I want to say out by the Falcons facility, because that's in Flowery Branch, and I don't know necessarily where that's at. And I just remember
Flowery Branch is far north.
When he picked me up from, I see Flowery Branch right now. It's a little further north than Lawrenceville. I remember when he picked me up from the airport, it was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So right in the middle, smack dab in the middle of rush hour traffic. I mean, it took us from Atlanta, Hartsfield Jackson International to get up to Lawrenceville, which is like 15 miles away, like nothing crazy. Like it took us 2 hours to get to his neighborhood.
It's exhausting. So
I don't know how people do it every day.
Oh, believe me, that's why I was doing this. This is terrible. And Hart's like, you get your 5 mile bubble. You really never leave that. I'm like, I guess. Like, what's the point of living here then? You go live anywhere.
Right.
Hartsock may or may not be like a borderline doomsday prepper. He's in a group with some people about that.
Oh, no.
He's got his RV there.
How's he do? Is he doing all right?
Yeah, he's doing great. Doing great, man.
What's his supply run? 15 years?
I don't know. I'm not sure. They've got some sort of group, and I learned about the terms bugging in or bugging out. Like if something happens, like do you hunker down where you're at, or kind of like Helm's Deep, do you have a place that you go to retreat, Bame, that has
depends on the traffic,
a better water supply. Well, not even traffic, just like a better water supply, the climate you want, the ability to grow your own sustainable crops, like all of these things.
It's like the Spartans at the Pass at Thermopylae.
Basically. And so there's just a lot of things that I was learning about all that stuff and the people that he knows and the groups that he's involved in. It's quite interesting. The tailgating scene also at Georgia is pretty remarkable.
Yeah, tell me about that, because that was a big primetime night game. They beat Tennessee. They're feeling good about it.
The stadium was remarkable, and people always say, well, it's 5 or 6, 7 years younger than Ohio Stadium, maybe 8 years younger. I mean, it's built in 1929. When did they finish the shoe? In 22? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
So it's 7 years younger. And I guess they've renovated it a couple times, but they did all the laser light shows. It just had a really cool feel because it's in the center of campus, so it's different than Ohio State's. So the tailgating beam, they don't have any service lots that are right around there.
Okay.
And here you have to buy a parking pass and you have to pay for everything. There, I just want you to imagine the stadium being adjacent to the oval.
Yeah, so right next, right where Thompson's at, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, put the stadium where Thompson Park is and just kind of wrap stuff around it. You just would pop up tents in front of dorms.
Great.
And people go, what time is so you can start setting up at 7? I'm like, do you reserve these? No, first come. Do you have to pay for them? No. Just pull on up here. You can get some parking on campus around if it's there. They've got a parking garage, a couple that you can go in there. And obviously people will park. You pay to park in there, but then they unload their stuff and then go park in the garage. But I mean, it's just in front of campuses. And I guess the place where they normally have a lot of them was where game day was. So they kind of get upset when game day's there because it changes everything.
Move.
But I mean, it's pretty wild. It's just smack dab and you're rolling around and there's a dorm.
Where's your guys' tailgate at? Oxley or Oxley by the numbers?
It's what it is. You just have to walk by it and then you're kind of right there. And there's just right on the sidewalk.
Partying at Steve today.
Yeah.
Right in front of Drackett.
And I don't know if what the internet situation is, but everybody had TVs going, quad boxes up, watching games, having drinks. It was a lot of fun.
So you go to Ohio Stadium a lot. I mean, what's the main difference between it was a night horseshoe game. And then of course what is Sanford Stadium down there?
Yeah, and so they have boxes, they have suites all the way around it. It seemed. I mean, it took me about 15 minutes in line to get a high noon, so that was a little rough. But it it seemed more aesthetically pleasing. Now, maybe that's because it was a night game and I'm super familiar with Ohio State and that was something new. But I like go around. I mean, I'm taking pictures, trying to like lock in and just see all the different stuff. They've got a huge, sweet scoreboard doing the lights. You see they drop them down. The whole stadium goes red and all that. And so there's like some cool stuff. And that's partly because they play a lot of night games, not a lot of noon games, Beam.
It's true.
So there was a lot of energy, a lot of juice. And that was a Tennessee squad that went up 10-0 beginning of the game. I thought it was going to be over, a rout. And Georgia battled back. But it was very cool ambiance and pretty good experience, I would say, down there. Especially, like I said, comparing night to night. Like I compared to Notre Dame at night 2 years ago. It was comparable to that. But they just have more of those opportunities.
Yeah, because all their primetime games are at evening instead of being put right at the noon kickoff. Shark, how you feeling about your Cavs? 128-114, 15-0 to start the season.
33 in a row, Shark. That's the goal.
At Boston tomorrow.
At Boston tomorrow. Celtics are 11-3. Donovan didn't play last night. It's funny because they, normally will say, oh, lower body injury or
rest,
whatever. And it just was rest. I mean, come on. You sit out. All your teammates are playing every game, but you're going to sit out.
I do more than that.
14 straight wins. Anyway.
Well, it doesn't matter because they got 15.
Ty Jerome came in to the starting lineup for him, and he scored a career-high 24, matched his career high. So
send it in, Jerome.
How about that? 15 in a row.
Getting 16 tomorrow?
I don't know.
How good do you feel? How good do you feel, Shark?
Celtics are like 3.5-point favorites.
All right, that's not bad. Yeah. It's on the road. It's defending NBA champs. You should be feeling pretty good about your opportunity coming up here tomorrow. Opposite side of that, the Browns looked good yesterday.
They did.
35. It's great. I mean,
their offense did.
Jameis was 30 for 46 with 395 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, and yet you still got beat by 3 scores.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Did you watch the pregame at all, Shark? Like with him leading in and then doing the interview with him before?
Yeah.
I love Jameis.
I
love the fact he's a faith-based dude.
Out there a little bit
and everything, but like, what gives you the he's so great. Gosh, he just has such a big smile on his face. It's like the guy's never played an NFL game before and he's excited to do it.
Every game's his first.
Had the 7th best passing day in franchise history, had the 4th longest touchdown pass in franchise history. I think it was 89 yards to Jerry Jeudy, and they still got clobbered. Defense really let them down yesterday. Well, your boy Taysom
Hill. What is his name? Taysom Hill is his actual
quarterback
name.
/ running back / tight end.
Yeah, that was
returner.
It was an all-time day for him, was it not? I mean, 7 carries, 138 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and then he had
a couple receptions,
8 catches for 50 yards, and then the return.
He also threw an 18-yard pass. Completed an 18-yard pass, and could have had a touchdown on that return.
He did throw a pick.
He did throw a pick, and he fumbled.
Yeah.
He
did everything for them.
Score.
He did everything for them. Yeah, you got Payson. It is crazy that you pay the secondary that much, and they just forget how to play defense sometimes. Like that.
Well, Denzel was really good yesterday.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the rest of them were stinky poo.
Yeah, no good. And then Big Thanos out for the year. Right,
what did they say? They carted him off. What did they say was his?
I think it was an ankle fracture. I think.
Oh, that sounds good.
Right, Shark? If I'm not wrong,
I think definitely an ankle. He got rolled on from behind by a teammate, but I haven't heard if it was season ending.
I thought I saw Mary Kay. DeJuan Jones has a fractured ankle that'll require surgery. Lost for the season. Stefanski said, out for the year. Where's
the next win coming
for the Browns?
Yeah. Is it coming?
Next year.
Yeah.
Home against the Steelers. You guys have been really good against them. That's Thursday night, so you get that. That's a primetime, short turnaround for both teams. At Denver, they looked awesome yesterday against the Falcons.
Yeah, then you're going to want to play that game, sure.
Return leg to Pittsburgh the following week. Home against the Chiefs, who just lost to the Bills yesterday. At the Bengals, who had a disastrous first half and then last couple of minutes in that game. Home against the Dolphins at Baltimore. I don't know if you're getting another one.
Dolphins game, you might be able to maybe squeeze in there.
They're playing well with Tua now.
They looked pretty good.
Yeah.
They looked pretty good yesterday.
Just trying to find some optimism for you, Shark.
I don't think there is very much optimism.
We got the first pick in the draft.
Ooh, I don't know. The Jags are
Yeah.
The Jags are really close for you.
And we beat the Jags.
The Jags looked good yesterday. They were really coming in their own.
It was a good game for about 3 minutes.
All right, I had the quad box up yesterday. I had the Bears on, Bears and Packers. I had the Browns and the Saints. I had the Saints or the Steelers and the Ravens. And then I had the Lions and the Jags on. Every time it went to commercial break, I'm looking down. I'm like, touchdown, field goal, touchdown. Like it was, I couldn't keep up with them yesterday. I'm like, I don't even know what the score of this game is, but I can tell you one thing, that it is a whole lot to a whole little. Because what was the final score?
You know how hard it is to have over 600 yards of total offense?
52-6.
52-6.
Jared Goff is.
Do the Browns play the Lions? I'd like to see what that could look like.
No. The Bears play the Lions on Thanksgiving Day.
You'll have a lot to be thankful for, me.
Yeah, going to be super pumped about that. Radio voice here, Columbus Blue Jackets, Bob McElligott. He joins us from Boston next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Still watching crews clear up a crash at the intersection of Refugee and Courtright Road. Other than that, the rest of your Central Ohio interstates moving along just fine. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Ram trucks are built to serve, and nobody serves up Black Friday deals like your local Ram dealer. And right now, every day is Black Friday, with $1,000 Black Friday bonus cash allowance on 2025 Ram 1500 trucks all month long. So skip the lines and get great deals on the #1 brand in new vehicle quality awarded by J.D. Power. Just visit ram.com and get to your Ram dealer today. Award based on 2024 models. For J.D. Power 2024 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Contact dealer for details. Must take retail delivery by 12/2.
Some things in life are meant for each other, like salt and pepper, bacon and mushrooms, or you and the all-new Wendy's Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger. Now, you're probably thinking, wait a minute, does bacon go with mushrooms? And the answer is, they do now. So if you want crispy, crunchy, cheesy, juicy, shroomy, and garlic spready, then you and the Mushroom Bacon Cheeseburger are meant to be. For mushroomy, bacony goodness, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
When you have the lowest prices every day feels like Black Friday. That's why Bob's is unboxing incredible values every Friday in November. Oh, no, not a boxing match. We're unboxing unbeatable values for your home. We're talking beautiful bedroom sets, feature-packed power sofas, dining sets, pop-up sleepers, decor, and more, all at wow-worthy prices. Now you're getting it? So check back every Friday for a new unboxing, because every day is like Black Friday at Bob's Discount Furniture.
APCO Windows, Siding, and Decks is a family company my dad started in 1962. We don't rely on sales gimmicks, so get multiple estimates. Just make sure one of them is from APCO.
Absolutely, you can trust APCO.
APCO.com.
For a limited time at Speedway, get 2 big pizza slices and your favorite Coca-Cola 20-ounce for only $5 with Speedy Rewards. Choose from Classic 3-Cheese, Pepperoni, or Extreme Meat Pizza. Save big with a $5 meal deal with Speedy Rewards. Only at Speedway. Valid through 1/7/25. See app for full terms.
It's Monday Night Football on ESPN Columbus and the Fans HD2. Catch the Texans and Cowboys from Jerry's World. Live coverage starts Thursday at 7:30.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home of the NFL, The Fan.
Bobby Carpenter was determined to get relief for his dad, Rob. Years of college and pro football had taken a toll on Rob's joints. Bobby trusted his dad's care to QC Kinetics and their game-changing regenerative pain treatments.
It's been great to watch him improve. This stuff wasn't available 20 years ago, and how we've been able to kind of hone in and be able to fix the body in a more natural way as opposed to just cutting on it all the time. It's pretty terrific.
QC Kinetics. They take your body's own healing properties, concentrate them, and apply to areas in pain like knees, shoulders, hips, and back. And the results?
He's like, well, it doesn't hurt to go down the stairs anymore. I'm like, well, that's the positive.
Relief. Without any joint replacements, harmful steroids, or medications. The natural way at QC Kinetics. Don't wait. Call to see if you're a good candidate. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. Again, 380-208-4544. Get rid of your joint pain with QC Kinetics.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It is cloudy. Temperatures are in the 40s by the afternoon. Look at this. We are in the middle 60s. It is going to be a cloudy and dry day today. Rain returns tomorrow with a high of 64. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Beam has a baby face. Bobby has soft hands. That should not stop you from listening to this show. This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here, 7:33 in our next segment, Spencer Holbrook, Lettermen Row. He's going to join the program. We'll recap the Buckeyes' victory at Wrigley Field against Northwestern. As of now, though, let's talk some Jackets.
Morning Juice presents Talking Jackets.
Now it's Boone Jenner along the end boards, and he stuffs it behind Peter Mrazek for the score.
Sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
As we head off the hotline, checking with our guy, radio play-by-play man voice of your Columbus Blue Jackets. He is Bob McElligott. Bobby Mack, thanks so much. As always, you know what time zone you're in? Last week we talked to you in Seattle, had a nice little layover in Columbus, then Montreal. Now you're in Boston. Do you know where in the world you're at, Bob?
No idea.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's been quite the week and change for you guys on this little trip here. So I don't know. I mean, I know what you were doing on Friday night, Bob. There was a fight going on between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. I think you had the better fight, though, on Saturday up in Montreal between Matthew Olivier and Arbor Jacquet. I mean, how'd you score that one?
There was a lot more contact in that one, wasn't there?
Yeah, a lot more.
Yeah, no, I scored Olivier. I really like what he does and how he does it, for sure. And, you know, I watched that other fight on the plane, and I thought all the buffering was just I thought it was Wi-Fi on the plane. I didn't find out that it was just messed up for everybody until the next day, as a matter of fact. But yeah, I think I would have rather watched Olivier fight Jake Paul, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I think Olivier would have definitely given Jake a little bit more run for his money. So that was really kind of it, Bob. I mean, on Saturday, you go up to Montreal. Can you explain to us, I mean, just how big it is for them in Montreal? Because I know that all the players talk about it. We had Erica Branson on last week, so the players love going up to Montreal. It's always a spectacle when you're playing up there. It's a different vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just there's just an energy in the building, like immediately from the first minute that you walk in there, when the fans are there. The way the building is built, it's very steep. It's almost as though the fans are right on top of you, and they're so knowledgeable, and they're great. I mean, you could make a good. Who's I talking to? Nicholas Backstrom, who's our goaltending coach. He said, I've gone into Montreal and I've made a great save, and people will applaud it. And even though, it didn't help their team. So it's a different place, but the atmosphere is great and all of that, but there was a really good opportunity to do something good there and come off that win on Friday over Pittsburgh and try to make it 2 in a row. And the Blue Jackets just fell apart in the third period of that game in Montreal.
So, I mean, it seems defensively they have these lapses, Bob, and some of the losses where there's just, goals aplenty clustered in a portion of a period. Is that just defensive letdowns, breakdowns, lack of focus in your mind?
Yeah, it was, especially with the defensemen. There were some egregious turnovers in the third period. Guys all of a sudden trying to make these passes across the ice and inside of their own zone that were just picked off. And all of a sudden, when that happens, now you've got, 2 of their forwards, so 1 of your defensemen. And it was like there was, through the first 2 periods, in the first period they kind of waded into it, but in the second period they were really good. And then all of a sudden in the third period it was like hey, I can't remember anything we did in the second period, so let's start taking these chances and doing these dumb things. And they paid a price for it. And I can't explain to you, Bobby, why some of the decisions were made, but they weren't executed well, and they lost the game because of it.
He is play-by-play voice of your Columbus Blue Jackets, Bob McElligott, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline in Boston tonight, Bob, and that kind of comes to the end of this wild and wonderful road trip. I know that they had the home game against the Penguins, which they won 6-2 on Friday evening, but after that, I mean, they're back home until after Thanksgiving. I know that they have to be pretty happy about getting this portion of the schedule done.
Yeah, happy about getting the travel out of the way, of course. But as far as when you look at the teams on the schedule, it doesn't get any easier. This Boston team right now is 8-3. Then you got to come home. You got to face Tampa. I mean, there's a lot of good quality opponents coming up here. So it's about figuring out your game and finding it and executing it. But you're right, Brandon. It will be nice to come home for a couple of weeks and get settled in because, we were joking at the beginning, you kind of forget where you are. And, it's been a lot, and it's not an excuse. I mean, you still have to play the game. You still have to win games. But it will be nice to settle back in for a while.
These road trips, are those tougher on the younger players, the older players, Bob? I mean, just trying to figure that out, who this would benefit maybe more.
I think it's, I think from an older player standpoint, they have the experience of they know how to attack it and go through it. Although, maybe they, maybe their body doesn't react to it the same way the younger guys do. But then the younger guys on the other side, you're still trying to figure out, how do I handle this? How do I travel through 3 time zones and 5 or 6 days and have myself ready to play and stuff like that? I think it's different challenges on either side. But again, it's a talking point for us and all that stuff, but you still have to be ready to play the game, and they've been ready to play games. It's just the decision-making within the games that has come back to bite them, and that really shouldn't have to do with where you're playing. I don't think they're making fatigue mistakes. I just think they're making or maybe they're making mentally fatigued mistakes. Maybe that's part of it. But other than that, you still got to be ready to play.
I know that Don Waddell said, I think late last week, Bob, that Kent Johnson expected back here in the lineup this week, which is obviously a good news for this Jackets team who had a bunch of injury issues at the beginning of the season. Yeah,
he's traveling with us. He's been skating. I would expect, I would say probably Thursday, he'd return against Tampa. That would be my guess. So, don't throw him into this game. I don't think there's any reason to throw him into this game tonight because after that, like you said, you come home tonight, you've got Tuesday, Wednesday, then you can have him ready to go for Thursday. And then decisions start because once he comes off the injured list, then they have to start to make some moves. They've got to clear space on the roster. So, but it'll be good to have Kent back, and I wouldn't expect him to go back to the level he was playing at the beginning of the year. It'll take him some time to get readjusted and shake the rust off, but you sure do miss having that skill in the lineup.
Bobby Mack, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here. Enjoy Boston. Have a great call tonight, buddy, and we'll check in again next week, all right?
From home. Holy cow. Okay.
For the first time in like 2 months.
That's right.
There he goes, Bob McElligott, Jackets play-by-play voice with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Spencer Holbrook, Lettermen Row. He's going to join the program after Bob says this.
Absolutely, Beam. I want to tell you, for all the small business owners that are out there listening, friend Brad Hennebert from Premier Advisors, give him a call. Brad works with small and large businesses to integrate your financial planning into your business accounting. Every business is unique. Brad will help you address your specific needs with monthly or quarterly consultations, not just reactive meetings at tax time to try to clean everything up from the year before. Talk to Brad and you'll get expert financial and tax planning all year long. Call Brad at Premier Advisors, 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Buckeyes move past Northwestern on Saturday. Spencer Holbrook's going to break it down with us next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Still no crashes to tell you about, but watching busy traffic on the southeast side on 33 and on I-71 as you make your way into downtown. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan traffic.
Dormar, your kind of hero.
Dormar can be there today, guaranteed. Visit them at dormarhvac.com. Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, what's all this I hear about season's free things?
Yeah, we're giving away even more than usual this season.
Free alignment with any Ford tire purchase isn't seasonal, Mike. It's free every day at Tire Discounters.
Sure, but right now, guess what else happens every day?
I know that customers can save up to $250 on Michelin tires.
Absolutely. Now, guess what else?
Mike, I'm a phantom tire buyer with a secret identity. Please don't toy with me.
Okay, here's the deal.
Yes?
We're doing these drawings.
Like a game show.
And one lucky customer per day wins all their money back for 4 tires.
Spectacular! But why call it Season's Free Things?
You know, Season's Greetings. It's like a play on words.
Yes, of course it is. I knew that.
It's Season's Free Things at Tire Discounters. One lucky customer per day wins their money back on tires. Everyone saves big on major brands like Continental. And a free alignment and oil change comes with every Ford tire purchase.
Jake Diebler and the Buckeyes return home to face the Evansville Purple Aces. Yep, that's their real name, the Purple Aces. Live fan coverage starts Tuesday night at 6 p.m. after Common Man and T-Bone. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Make the most of your holidays with the Kroger app. You can enjoy over $600 in digital coupons every week. Get access to low prices and earn fuel points to save up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. The Kroger app makes it easy to save this holiday season. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply.
Get a big deal on big packs of Kroger brand red, green, black, or tricolor seedless grapes. 3-pound containers are $3.99 each with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Reichert Chevy's dealing in Dublin.
$2,500 low price guarantee.
With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Shop hundreds of vehicles at ReichertChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive. We're dealing.
Diamond Cellar is bringing the world's finest jewelry to you at our annual holiday gala December 5th through December 7th. Celebrate the season of sparkle with up to 25% off for 1 weekend only at our Selma Road location. Visit diamondcellar.com/gala to learn more.
Hey fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper thing.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Joe Fallon's bedroom mini fridge. Sure, this pint-sized chiller's max capacity is 3 soda cans, but what it lacks in stature, it makes up in cooling strength. Each beverage a perfect 37 degrees every time. And the 2 feet Joe walks to get a drink, priceless. That's why his mini fridge is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
A radio show hosted by 2 former football players, one slightly more successful than the other. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Coming up 1 hour away from right now at 8:33, Joshua Perry, he's going to join the program. We'll react to him with the college football weekend. As of now, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline check with our good friend of Lettermen Row. He is Spencer Holbrook. Spence, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. You were in Chicago on Saturday watching the Buckeyes take down Northwestern 31-7. What was the Wrigley Field experience like being there in person?
It was actually really cool. I can't even say that it ended up being anything else, because I thought there was going to be some safety concerns. I thought even pregame when we were down on the field that there was going to be some issues with how close some of the walls were. But the ivy being the orange and brown of the fall, and the baseball stadium just being, what it is and what it means for sports, I guess. I thought it was awesome. And there were some hiccups, in post game with some of the technical stuff, but nobody cares about that stuff at the end of the day. And no one wants to hear me complain about it. And so, I thought it was a great experience. It's a game, probably one of my favorite games I've covered, and something I'll never forget.
So, how about the slow start? Any worry and concern about that? Northwestern able to bleed a lot of the clock off there, get down. Obviously, don't get a score the first drive, but maybe get a score on the second one.
Yeah, it was weird because, Northwestern starts the game 4 of 5 on third down, including a couple third and longs. Wildcats were actually 3 of 6 on third and 9+ throughout the entire game. Like, I don't love that, especially with how easy it is for Indiana to seemingly get chunk yards at times. You start the game with the second play of the game, you get a sack on second down, you think they're getting ready to go off the field, and then you give up a long third down play, and the cornerback play is a little not up to par, I guess, still right now. So there's a little bit of that concern. I don't know if we should have expected a quick start just because they've got, this huge 2-week stretch coming up here now. But at the same time, you would have liked to have gotten off the field there on that first possession and set the tone. I do think that if Jeremiah Smith's, touchdown that was called back, which I still don't know if that ever actually hit the ground. I think if Ohio State goes up 7-0 there, you're probably in a different frame of mind there, even after giving up a couple of those third and longs. But that's not how, I guess, the cookie crumbled. And so the 7-0 deficit doesn't look great, especially against the 130th, I think, offense in the country. There's a little bit of concern there with some of the things that are baked into that early 7-0 lead for Northwestern. But overall, I thought the way they responded to get to that 31-7 at the end of the game was really impressive, and the second half was pretty dominant.
Spence, you mentioned Jeremiah Smith right there. What was your takeaway of the play that looked to injure his ankle? Looked like a little gator roll that the Northwestern defender did against Jeremiah when he had been on the ground for like 4 seconds before that.
Yeah, it wasn't the initial tackle. It was the finish to the play when everybody was on the ground and he's kind of leaning on that ankle trying to pull at it. I thought it was a bit of a dirty play. I don't know how else you could really spin it, because at that point the play's over. He's on the ground. Let him go. Everybody go back to your huddles. I don't really know how else to say it other than that it was a dirty play. And I think that's something that's kind of a heavy allegation to make, because, you don't want to ever label somebody a dirty player unless you truly believe they are a dirty player. But that replay is very apparent that, like, hey, the play is over. Let go of the man's ankles. And that didn't happen. And then, you see him walking off. That's the game with some ice. You saw him get taped up a little bit extra there after that play. And, it was good to see him come back into the game. I don't know if it was necessary for him to come back into the game, but for Ohio State to send him back out there, I thought that was good. But, it's different when you take that tape off and you take the shoe off and you see what that ankle is going to do. So I did think it wasn't a great play, and it wasn't a great look for that Northwestern defender, and now it's something to monitor moving forward.
Carnell Tate, big game out of him. Is that something you're looking forward to seeing more of, Spence?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, teams are going to have to pick their poison truly with this Ohio State offense, and I think one of the things that the last 3 or 4 teams have been doing is taking McElligott away. He's been extremely quiet the last few weeks. I think he had 2 catches again this week for like 25 yards. He's actually getting to be in jeopardy of not breaking those Ohio State receiving records that we all thought he was just a shoe-in to break just because of the low numbers the last 3 or 4 weeks. So you'd love to see him get more involved, but if teams are going to take him away in the slot and make a concerted effort not to let him catch the football, and, obviously they're going to play Jeremiah Smith the way they have been trying to no avail the last couple of weeks, I think the opportunities are there for Carnell Tate, and the opportunities are even there for guys like Brandon Ennis, who have been playing a little bit more as the season's gone on. Those 3rd and 4th receiver options, I just think if you're going to take Emeka away and you're going to try to defend Jeremiah Smith the way that you are, the other receivers are going to beat you. And Saturday was Carnell Tate, obviously huge game for him being back home and getting to have his moment there in his hometown. But, you can't defend them all. And if you do try to defend all these receivers, and they're just going to run the ball. So we thought that this might be an issue for defenses at the beginning of the year. That's starting to, come to fruition here. And I think Carnell is going to be the benefactor of that even more moving down the stretch because, he's really good too.
He is Spencer Holbrook of Lettermen Row with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. What did you think of Will Howard's day at the office on Saturday, Spence? Because there were a couple there. I mean, you had mentioned the ball to JJ that was called incomplete. There was one down the seam to G. Scott that was incredible. A couple of them to Carnell, including the one touchdown, was a pretty good pass. But it did seem that his ball placement on Saturday was top tier.
Yeah, I thought it was his best day at the office so far as a Buckeye. Just because no turnovers, which is huge. A second straight game with no turnovers, that absolutely has to happen moving forward because I think he had a turnover in 5 or 6 straight games heading into the Purdue and Northwestern games, and I know it's Purdue and Northwestern. I will always couch that, but to see him go turnoverless the last 2 weeks, absolutely massive for this team. And then you throw in the seam throw to G. Scott, which I think is his best throw in an Ohio State uniform so far. That was a seed, and not a lot of guys can make that throw down the seam like that. I was watching Justin Herbert last night. They kind of looked the same there on the seam, just the way that he was throwing it and the way that Will was throwing on Saturday. The deep balls to Jeremiah and Carnell, we've been begging for Will to get better on the deep ball. Looked like he did on Saturday. He was on point. And the decision making. He talked about after the game his completion percentage was probably the lowest of the year. I don't know if it was actually the lowest, but it was lower than like the 75-80% that he's been trying to hit all year. And I think he had 3 throwaways. So even the throwaways, Ryan Day loves to talk about those. And I thought that they were good because, you're staying ahead, you're staying, not behind the chains there when you throw the ball away. So I just thought it was a great day for him. And to see him go without a turnover again, obviously a good sign, as they head into Indiana.
Oh, it's a great sign to be able to see that, and I'm sure it's exciting. Going into Indiana, the expectations for this, coming off a bye week, fresh new ink for Kurt Cignetti. Google him. They're 10-0, looking to be 11-0 in the shoe this weekend.
Yeah, it's interesting. The contract extension officially made this game super parallel to that 2021 Michigan State game where you've got a heavy transfer portal class and a top 10 team who isn't really accustomed to being in that spot, coming to the Horseshoe the week before the Michigan game. Obviously, that game ended, I think 56-7. It's 49-0 at halftime. Ohio State made a statement there. I don't know if that's going to be what this is, but the parallels are certainly there with all of the things that Indiana's done similarly to what Michigan State did back in that 2021 season with Mel Tucker. So I think that it's going to be awesome. The Indiana is very good. They throw the ball really well. They play good defense. Ohio State's going to have to really tighten up their cornerback play, especially in the first quarter. They've got to get better there. They've got to be on point in the secondary because Indiana's going to just throw the ball down the field, and they will challenge you. And I think it's a little bit like that Oregon game where they don't have great receivers like Oregon does, but they have good enough receivers, and they will just challenge you until they win that battle. So it's going to be a challenge, and I think Ohio State was definitely looking ahead to it a little bit last week at Northwestern with this Indiana trip in mind, but I think the Horseshoe's also going to be rocking because I think the people are finally fed up with Big Noon. They're going to take it as a challenge.
He is the noted nephew of Aunt Karen Holbrook.
Absolute drunken orgies.
What did she think of Wrigleyville Saturday, Spence? I heard that there was a straight Buckeye fan takeover.
Yeah, that was wild. I've never seen so many Ohio State fans relative to the size of the stadium. I don't talk about crowd sizes too much just because there's got to be 100,000 people in the Horseshoe. There might as well be 100,000 Ohio State fans. This was, and like when we go over to Indiana, it's like, okay, there's 60,000 people there. There's 40,000 Ohio State fans, but it's all red anyway, so we don't really know where they're at. This was crazy. There were 40,000 people in that stadium, and I think 35 were Ohio State fans. That was a showing by Buckeye Nation, even for an 11 a.m. kickoff. And obviously, Aunt Karen doesn't love the bars in Wrigleyville. They're already dressed up for Christmas. I walked into a couple of them, and it gets slapped in the face by Buddy the Elf. It's like, wow, you guys just skip right over Thanksgiving. That's a bold strategy. But, Aunt Karen doesn't love Wrigleyville, obviously, but she does love this string of noon kickoffs because the parking lots are very much, less likely to become, exactly what the sound clip tells you they are.
Buddy, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a great time in the game against Indiana. Enjoy the game, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
There you go. Spencer Holbrook, Lettermen Row, Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline.
Absolutely, Beam. Hey, not much creative about this commercial. When I tell about a deal this good, Beam, sometimes you just got to say it straight. Hey, I'll tell you about my friends over at Pella Columbus, and if you've been thinking about getting your windows that could completely change the overall look and feel of your home, well, Pella Columbus, they have a giant holiday deal to entice you. Right now, qualifying installations will receive 50% off or 0% APR financing for 60 months. Get the Pella look and quality at an incredible holiday price, only for my friends at PellaColumbus.com. Go check them out at PellaColumbus.com.
We're going to get juice next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Out there right now, no major crashes to tell you about, but busy traffic on 33 out on the southeast side and on I-70 as you make your way in from the far east side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan traffic.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Come into your local AAA Car Care Plus and save $40 on any repair of $150 or more. Only at AAA Car Care Plus locations. And on the plus side, AAA members save more. Offer valid November 1st through November 30th. See store for details.
Football is built on tradition, and so is the Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. With a lifetime powertrain warranty on every vehicle purchase, you know you're getting a relationship that's built to last. Need service? Our Carvenience service takes care of everything, from picking up your vehicle to dropping it off when it's done, leaving you with a rental car in between. And with 4 dealerships and a collision center, Hinderer Motor Company is your one-stop shop for all things automotive. Visit HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
Leaves changing in the nighttime air is cool. Fall is the perfect time to have the Waterworks inspect and tune up your furnace. Protect your family against those wintertime furnace breakdowns. Call 614-232-2222 now to schedule.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here, and I want to tell you about one of my guilty pleasures during the football season. Eating some chips, eating some wings and veggies with my favorite dips while watching football. Got the kid running around, the dog running around. It's very easy. Got a new dip addiction. Or as William likes to say, dip dip. Daisy sour cream, they came out with a French onion and a ranch dip. They're a total game changer. Maybe even better than the homemade dips I make at home. Real herbs, real spices and ingredients that you'd find in your own kitchen. And I would suggest you to try them. We all know the jingle. Dollop of Daisy. Well, a dollop of Daisy is even better with a dip of Daisy. Go try them out right now.
Tickets for the 2025 Memorial Tournament presented by Workday are now on sale with special offers only through December 5th. Walk the rope line. Witness iconic shots by golf's best. Join the crowd roars. The experience is yours and it's second to none. Be there May 26th through June 1st. Take advantage of best ticket pricing and waived fees now through December 5th. Visit memorialtickets.com today.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
Diamonds Direct's biggest and most spectacular sale of the year is starting now. For the first time, it's bigger than ever. Take 20% off virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, everything to make this holiday sparkle. This weekend, we're decking the halls with an expanded selection and top designers' appearances in the store. 20% off now through Sunday. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. Open all weekend. For the best selection, quality, and price, shop direct. Get details at diamondsdirect.com.
Ready to take on the open road? Bobby Carpenter here. Get behind the wheel of power and reliability at Germain Toyota. Right now, drive off in a 2024 Tacoma SR 4x4 for just $329 a month. That's 39 months with 10,000 miles per year. Only $32.99 due at signing. Or step up to the rugged 2024 Tundra SR5 4x4 for just $399 a month with $39.99 due at signing. Both built tough, built to last. Hurry into Germain Toyota where adventure begins. Offers end soon. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road and online at germaintoyota.net. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
FX's English teacher.
Every single one of these essays is so bad.
An F? What is this?
With grades like this, I'm going to have to hit the corner, sir.
From executive producers of What We Do in the Shadows.
Who's running the school? Is it us or is it them?
Them.
Go sit next to Tiffany.
She told me it was offensive to learn Mandarin because you're not Japanese.
FX's English teacher is now streaming on Hulu. All new Mondays on FX.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything, like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and saute. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, nice and mild, but it will remain cloudy, high 63. Tonight, we dip down to around 52. And then as we head into your Tuesday, look for showers with a high of 64. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecasts on 97.1 The Fan.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Heading to work? Keep listening to the guys at the office.
Stream the show at 971thefan.com or download the Fan app.
This is Morning Juice.
Well, you're on the Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can always visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Bob, it's a Monday, buddy. What's got you fired up today?
Oh, my gosh. The fact that my calf is exploding right in front of me. It feels like I have compartment syndrome in it. I think it cramped up like 3 or 4 times last night. And I was like, I'm having a dream that my calf is cramping, but it's actually real, and it's not a dream. And then I woke up to take a leak at one point in the night, and I almost fell to the ground because I couldn't move. So, yeah, that was I usually drink a lot of water on Sundays. I guess I didn't drink quite enough yesterday to be able to get that done. Did get some leaves blown, though, and some more Christmas stuff set up. So be ready to rock here. It's amazing to think that Thanksgiving is next Thursday. Yeah. This year has flown by. The Buckeyes will be taking on Indiana this week.
Got a
Finally waiting.
Hey, 2 games left to go in the regular season. A potential to play 7 more games.
Yes, so a little over kind of the halfway mark here. And I never thought I'd see a day where Indiana, or game day would be coming to Ohio State for the Indiana game. And that is going to be the case. Unfortunately, I won't be here. I'm going to be heading over to Oklahoma for the Alabama game, which I wish I was going to be here. At the beginning of the season, Beam, this didn't seem like a premier game.
It's a game that you put before Michigan.
Yeah, it's the game that you played before Michigan, and it's tremendous. Big one here for Ohio State. So this is what we've been waiting for. Finally, or to this point, so pretty darn excited about this. It's down in Georgia this weekend. Pretty good experience there. Cool stadium. Got a chance to see that Georgia-Tennessee game, which was a lot of fun. To be a part of, and see my old guy Ben Hartsock and everything that he's got going as well. The Browns, I mean, unbelievable. Their futility beam knows no bounds. Second to that, only maybe of the Bears, and then also with the Jags because they seem to be just giving away yards and touchdowns.
Yeah.
This little nugget I found from John Maxwell the other day. Pretty excited to share this with you.
It all begins with passion. Why? Because passion causes us to take initiative. When you see a passionate person, you do not see a procrastinator. People don't have passion and say, oh my gosh, this is so good. I think I'll wait till next year. No, this is so good. I got to tell it right now. I got to try it right now. I got to go see if this works. Passion is the initiator, which takes us into action, and there is no success without action. No success. You can't be successful without acting, and you won't act unless you're passionate. So passion is the initiative. It gets us moving.
Shark, I've never seen somebody that was so passionate, said, I'm so excited about this. Let me wait till next year. Except for the Cleveland Browns. What's got you juiced?
Legs.
I'm freaking attacking and dominating. You know what I mean? Everything. Business, training, being a husband. Again, dudette, lifestyle. Go Bucks, beat cancer.
That's a passionate guy there.
Yes, it is.
That. I wish I would get one of these races. Last season, Kurt Signetti led James Madison to a 10-1 record. He made $677,000.
Yeah.
Got a nice 6-year, $27 million contract to coach Indiana. Mm-hmm. Nice jump in salary from $677,000 to $4.5 million. And then he went 10-0 and got another raise on Saturday, a new 8-year, $64 million deal, which kicks in next season. That's $8 million a year if you're keeping track. But
here's the best, Shark, for hanging around.
Just for sticking around and honoring his contract, he gets $1 million a year in a retention bonus, which gives him $9 million a year. That makes Cignetti the third highest paid head coach in the Big Ten, behind only Lincoln Riley at $10.04 million.
Money well spent.
And Ryan Day at $10.02 million. James Franklin is fourth at $8.5 million. Dan Lanning fifth at $8.2 million. Who would have ever thought that Indiana would pay its football coach more than Michigan or Penn State or Oregon?
More than their basketball coach.
More than their basketball coach. That has me juiced. Now I hope he goes 10-1 after Saturday, Beam.
How'd the Ashland Arrows do on Saturday or Friday?
They lost 28-10 to the Big Walnut up in Marion, and so Ashland finishes at 12-1. Big Walnut now is in the region finals. The top seed at 11. Yeah, no, they're 12-1 as well. So
I think Centerville beat Kaufman pretty handily on Friday. I don't know the final scores, 48-7 or 49-7. Sets up a regional final against Wayne, Bob.
The Wayne train.
Yeah, so Centerville and Wayne in the regional finals. Chance to go to the state Final Four. Was pumped about that on Friday. And then your heart never really gets racing. So again, I mean, we have a big dog. He's around 100 pounds, and I don't know why he does this anymore. Like, he used to sleep up with us, not in our bed. Like, he's got a bed in our room. So he used to come upstairs with us and sleep, but now he sleeps downstairs and he sleeps in the front room. So I think it's a good century point for him because Willie's, downstairs and we're upstairs. And so last night our neighbors are out of town. Been out of town for a little bit. I think their niece or somebody is staying at their house just watching the cats while they're gone. And nothing gets your heart racing like at about 12:45, 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I jolt up because I'm like, usually he won't make a sound in the middle of the night. Now, when I leave for work, we're like ships in the night because he's like, I'm going upstairs now. Like, now that you're awake, like I'm leaving, I'm going upstairs to lay with mom in bed. So, yeah, 12:45 at night, man. He was just losing his mind. I'm like, well, he's not doing that for no reason. Why is he doing that? And I saw that our neighbor's niece, she parked right in front of our house because there's another car in their driveway. So she parked in front of our house and is walking up the driveway to go into their house because we have a shared driveway. And he was just losing his mind. And I'm like, all right, you did good job. Good job. It's going to be tough to settle down. Willie's crying in the background. Got to go place the pacifier back in his mouth. But I'm like, he did his job. Buckeye leave for Theo. Did his job. Good job, Theo. 1 o'clock in the morning. Took me a while to go back to sleep, but we finally did it. So he was straight up guard dog mode last night.
How old's the niece?
I don't know, probably
17.
Yeah, 17, 18, 19.
Curfew in Clintonville?
Not there because her aunt and uncle are out of town, so she's doing whatever she wants to over there. But yeah, guard dog mode activated last night. The Bengals can't get out of their own way. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Out there right now, no major crashes to tell you about, but busy traffic on 33 out on the southeast side and on I-70 as you make your way in from the far east side. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Welcome to Nada Yada Island.
We're back on Nada Yada Island Confessions. Benny is about to tell us how he found two loves. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks to Metro, I found iPhone 12 and Apple Watch SE.
At Metro, get both iPhone 12 with 5G and Apple Watch SE for only $99.99. Holidays with Nada Yada Yada, only at Metro by T-Mobile.
Bring your number and ID, sign up for Metro Flex Plus, and add a watch line. Not available if you're with T-Mobile or been with Metro in the past 180 days. Limit 2 per account.
Meijer knows that Thanksgiving is a time to come together, eat together, and share together. During the week of Thanksgiving, November 24th through the 30th, when you buy Meijer brand foods, our Simply Give program will feed up to 4 million neighbors in need. So when you bring that perfectly fluffed stuffing to the table, the cranberry sauce and green bean casserole, you're actually bringing more good to more neighbors. Let's bring more good to Thanksgiving with Meijer brand and Simply Give. Exclusions apply. See Meijer.com for details.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. The holidays are here, and let's face it, it's easy to put on a few extra pounds between the parties, the food, and the stress. But this year, do something different and try semaglutide from Affinity Whole Health. Semaglutide is a game changer for weight loss. It'll help curb cravings and keep your energy up so you can tackle the holidays with ease. If you're thinking about TRT or already on it, they work together for amazing results. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com. That's feelgreatcolumbus.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good morning, I'm Mark the Shark. The top-ranked Ohio State men's soccer team defeated Michigan 1-0 yesterday at Jesse Owens Stadium to win the Big Ten Tournament Championship. A stadium record crowd of nearly 9,000 saw Parker Grinstead score the only goal of the game in the 73rd minute. Cavaliers all-star Donovan Mitchell took the night off to get some rest, but the Cavs just kept rolling along. Ty Jerome started in place of Mitchell and tied a career high with 24 points as Cleveland beat Charlotte 128-114 to start the season with 15 straight wins. The Bengals overcame a 21-point deficit, but then lost in the final minute again. J.K. Dobbins' 29-yard touchdown run with 18 seconds left gave the Chargers a 34-27 win. Jameis Winston threw for 395 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and the Browns were still clobbered at New Orleans 35-14. This Sports Center is sponsored by The Waterworks. Trust the pros at The Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Visit thewaterworks.com to get started. Breaking sports news on The Fan.
It's Reaction Monday, where our highly trained experts talk football.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
Your home for reaction and overreaction. The Fan. Keep on swiping that card, baby. Keep on swiping that card. Charge it to winning. This is Morning Juice.
Hour 3 of the program for us on a Reaction Monday. Coming up here, 8:33 this morning. We're already past 7:33. Spencer Holbrook joined us at 7:33. You can always listen to the podcast if you missed that. 8:33, Joshua Perry. He's going to recap everything that happened around the world in college football with us a little bit later on this hour.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, your destination for top-of-the-line grills with up to 30-year warranties. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Busy weekend for the Jackets. 6-2 victory over the Penguins on Friday night. Turnaround back-to-back for them in Montreal. Dropped that one 5-1 to the Habs on Saturday evening. Off day for them yesterday. They're in Boston tonight to take on the Bruins. It's a 7 o'clock start. 6:30 coverage for us. Excuse me. Begins on The Fan. Texas A&M 78. Buckeye men's basketball 64 on Friday night, Bob. It was a tough go. It was a tough go for them. They've got Evansville tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Over at the Shot, and then I believe Campbell on Friday. So a couple of pair of home games coming up here this week for the Buckeye men's team. Ohio State women's basketball took down Belmont yesterday, 67-63. Game was played in Nashville. True road game for them. And then later on this week, in a couple of days' time, good road trip if you want to watch the Buckeye women's basketball team because they are in Athens taking on OU Wednesday at 7 o'clock. That's a nice midweek trip for them.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. To head down there to Ohio University, go check that out. So, yeah, if you're looking to a chance to go see them, Convocation Center Beam.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice venue, good sight lines, fun place to watch a game. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
How about the soccer programs over the weekend for Ohio State? Women's soccer on Friday took down James Madison 4-1 in the NCAA tournament. They will play Auburn in the second round. I was looking last night on NCAA.com, couldn't find out when that game is being played. So I don't know when that game is being played, but they are into the next round of the NCAA tournament. And I did watch the top-ranked Buckeyes men's soccer team take down Michigan in the Big Ten championship game yesterday over at Jesse Owens Memorial Stadium. Almost 9,000 people in that place yesterday. 9K.
Really? That's
9,000 people. Saw that Chris Doran was there, our buddy, play-by-play guy for the Columbus Crew, was in attendance. Ross Bjork was over there. Jake Diebler was over there. Christian Ramirez, crew striker, was over. Everybody was over there yesterday to watch the Buckeyes win their first Big Ten championship in 15 years as they take down Michigan 1-0.
That's pretty sweet. It'd be a lot of fun. Great job by them. And this is a Buckeyes team that has come a long way because they struggled, 6-7 years ago. They were not good. They were bad. One of the worst teams in the Big Ten. So to see them go from that to this, quite the glow up, and pretty pumped that they've been able to do that and make those moves.
14-1-3 on the season. Bracket's going to be unveiled today for the NCAA tournament. I'm guessing that they're going to be the number 1 overall seed because they won the Big Ten and they were the number 1 ranked team
I think that's
in
how
the
that
country.
works.
I would think that they would get the number 1 seed, which then you get a bye. So you get a bye if you're the first seed, so you're automatically whisked away into the second round. But that bracket comes out today at 1 o'clock. So we'll see what the future has in store for the Buckeyes. But yeah, how about that? 4th Big Ten championship in program history. First one in 15 years. NFL yesterday, Saints 35, Browns 14. Sharky, your Browns got Taysomed yesterday. He was doing it all for the Saints.
Passing, rushing, receiving, returning, fumbling,
interception.
But you feel good about it. Watching it was fun though, right? Entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Jameis threw for 390 what?
395.
395. The Browns didn't have a turnover and they lost 35-14.
Yeah. It was 14-14 and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
I think 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter by the Saints, the mighty Saints.
That is beautiful, man.
Meredith's uncle, I guess it would be my uncle too now by marriage, was at the game, Rusty. And I don't know why. I mean, so Rusty and his brother Matt lives in Cleveland. Rusty lives somewhere in South Carolina now. They just went down to the game on a Brothers trip yesterday. To New Orleans just to watch the Browns. They're big diehard Browns fans. Just went down there. He sent me a picture of him and his brother just hanging out. I said, how's the game? He goes, everything has been first class here in this city other than the football game.
Yeah, I mean,
the football game's bad. Everything else is terrific.
That? You're not going to get too much beam.
And then DeWand, I saw out for the rest of the year, ankle fracture.
That's not great. Not great at all. That's pretty rough to say the least, Beam. So they're not, I think, overly excited about probably prospects moving forward. Not a great situation. Did you guys, Chuck, did you watch any of the Jake Paul Tyson fight?
Nope. I tried to watch.
Well, they actually got it under control for the fight, which wasn't bad.
It was fixed.
You're going to have, I don't know if it was fixed, but Netflix, they're going to have 2 Christmas games on the NFL.
Yeah, and 2 the week before that. So the same weekend as the college football playoff first week.
Yeah, so they'd better find a way to get that thing figured out. And
did you see the numbers on it? Did you see how many people were active or how many households were actively trying to stream that fight?
I have no idea.
Shark, do you want to take a guess at the number? I saw it from Pro Football Talk.
Households.
Yeah, like how? Yeah, like
so
streaming start. Like how many activations were trying to get this Jake Paul Mike Tyson?
I'm going to say 36 million.
Okay, Bob.
I'm going to say 40 million.
60 million people.
Not 60 million people, 60 million households.
Yeah, 60 million households. We're trying to watch this. I don't know if the NFL numbers are going to draw that much, but they better get it figured out.
That churning, I'm like, this is not good.
For the whole time.
And then it was like buffering. I was like, Hartsock, I was yelling about his internet. He goes, dude, the YouTube TV's fine. I'm like, yeah, this is not going to be good. They better get this figured out here in a month.
I was watching Buckeye basketball on my phone. Is what I was doing, and I'm like, well, the internet's fine. Like, it's fine.
It's not the internet.
It's not the internet. It's the streaming.
They kept trying to tell everybody to reset your routers and stuff like that, I guess, when people were calling in. And they're like, everything else is good. It's not my router. And thankfully, they got it to where it was pretty good for the fight. But leading in, the refreshing. And
like the chaps that Mike Tyson was wearing?
Listen, man.
That was one of the best things to come out this weekend.
I hope I've got cheeks like Tyson when I'm 58
Iron
years
cheeks.
Old. Iron Mike with iron cheeks. I honestly, watching that fight, the 2-minute rounds, 8 rounds? 10 rounds.
8.
8 rounds.
8, I think.
Yeah, 8 2-minute rounds. And there was so much of me that wanted to see him like have a flurry. I honestly, I don't think it was fixed. I just think that he doesn't have the juice anymore. He stood in there and took
60 years old almost.
58. But I thought in my mind, like somehow I was like, you know what? He's going to still be able to like have a quick minute, 45-second
just
punch combo and
just
yes. And I was like, he'll gas out. But if you watch him, he was standing like square-legged base. His legs.
Well, he was
were
biting his glove to keep his glove up too. Did you see that?
Yeah, and like
an
that's
old
what,
boxing trip to keep your hands.
And that's
hands
what
up.
He said. He has have a biting fixation. I mean, did you see that in the post? Did you see that after the fight?
Is that what he said?
Yes.
No,
like,
I didn't
Mike,
see
we
that.
noticed you have
I turned it off before the end. I'm like, I don't
to.
want to see Mike go out like this. I turned it off.
Listen, I don't know if Paul could have knocked him out if he would have tried to really go at him. I also think he didn't want to go at him to probably risk the wrath of catching one.
Yeah.
Like Mike wasn't quick, but he did land a couple good ones early. He just had no juice. Like and here's the thing, like they've got, I mean, man, it was amateur. If they do the NFL broadcast like this, I will lose my cookies. I mean, they had, who was the last guy that fought him? Roy Jones Jr.?
Yeah.
I think. And he's
Roy's
up there.
older. Roy's a great fighter.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
Roy
But he
Jones.
kept saying his leg, what did he keep saying? His legs are bad? I go, you got to explain to people what that means. I was like, I'm sitting there and I'm figuring it out because he has no foot movement. His feet are square. Like he has no juice, so he can't get around. But you just telling me his legs are bad 37 times around doesn't tell me why, like what that means.
Do we know who's doing the Netflix games for the NFL?
Who knows?
Has that been announced yet?
I don't know. Jake Paul? I mean, maybe. Who knows? And they had, what's her name?
Kate
out
Abdo.
there? Who?
Kate Abdo. She was the studio host. She does a lot of the European soccer.
Okay, well, who's the color guy?
I don't know. I was talking about the people like on the desk.
Oh, on the desk? Yeah, sure. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about who's going to be doing the actual games, like the commentary.
Ian Eagle, Noah Eagle, Nate Burleson, J.J. Watt, and Greg Olson are your Netflixers.
The Eagle father, the
Eagles have
a
landed.
flock of Eagles.
Yeah.
And, okay, that should be pretty good. I know they were trying to get guys from, I think, Fox, and Fox told them no, which I couldn't believe. Because they wanted to try to get Brady on it. But it hopefully is better than that. They had, what's her name on there? Rosie
O'Donnell?
No, not is it Rosie Perez. Is that right? Who's she's out of White Men Can't Jump.
Yeah, Rosie Perez.
Rosie Perez.
She was on Jeopardy.
Yeah, well, on the show. She was on the Jeopardy on the movie, if you will. But she was on there. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't. I didn't think it was the production quality was great, and the production team and everything around it, and the fight was what it was.
Jeff says on YouTube, said it was the fight. I got tired of it, turned on a Netflix movie, and it was fine. But if I miss the Steelers-Chiefs games, I will unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People will be really upset about it. And I get it. It showed me being as sad as it was, the time was undefeated. And
I know.
I kept watching.
I want that little glimpse.
You wanted that little glimpse. No different than, Brett Favre.
Tiger winning at the Masters in 2019.
Tom Watson making a run at the British Open, 7, 8, maybe. How long ago was that now?
That was 15
10,
years ago.
15, I don't know. It seems like 5, but yeah, it's 10, 15 years ago. When you see somebody who you know is well past their prime, but they go to the old adage, I ain't as good as I once was, but I was as good once as I ever was. Like, they've got one more left in them. And you get to see that and getting to witness that. And I was hoping if it was just for a couple minutes there, that I would be able to sit there and watch that and know. I wasn't at the house when my boys were watching it because they'd seen Tyson. Like, that was the guy that I saw. Even if it was just for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, that was the Mike Tyson or close to it that I remember watching when I was your age, who came running out of the corner and had other grown men peeing down their leg, who were professionally trained, worthy fighters, who wanted nothing to do with him.
No thanks.
And his career arc has been remarkable. If you look at Tyson, youngest heavyweight champion in the world at 20 years old. Beam, I don't even know did you know he went to prison?
Yeah.
I was talking to someone about this, one of our producers who's in his early 30s. He went to prison for rape. This wasn't like it was some small thing, accusations. I'm like, I'm not going to say there aren't innocent people in prison, but if you're going to get accused and get convicted, I'm going to probably put you in about the 90 to 95% likely that's happened category. Then he bites Holyfield's ear, has that whole deal, and he kind of falls apart, and he's just drifting around. And then all of a sudden, in the early 2000s, they throw him a lifeline with a movie called The Hangover. And that kind of resurrected everything for him. And then since then, he's become like this lovable older figure who, in like the twilight of his life, and not really twilight, I mean, he's in his 50s, but I don't think Mike Tyson's living to 90 years old. Has become a guy that like younger people like. Look at this guy. He's got a face tattoo. He's in The Hangover. He's like funny.
He's got a tiger living in his house.
Yeah, and then everybody saw his legacy thing, which I'm going to have to put out there. Did we play that last week? Speaking of CTE.
I don't think so.
Did you see his interview about this child
I did see it.
Asked him about legacy.
We're all just dying.
It's really
We'll play
good.
it at the end of the show.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Then we might play it again tomorrow too. But we can
play it tomorrow.
It's really good. I enjoyed it because he talked about legacy, and usually people have this long, drawn out soliloquy about what legacy is to them, and his was long and drawn out. But it was just the fact that like nobody cares except for your family when you're gone, so it doesn't really matter.
Carnell Tate had quite the homecoming in Chicago on Saturday. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, looking outside right now, no major crashes on the map, but watching things pick up on 33 out in Dublin and on I-71 as you make your way into downtown. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stutterwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing. Call 1-800-COOLING.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Great Lakes Kia. Take the winning drive to Great Lakes Kia. Great cars, great people. Great Lakes Kia. Visit greatlakeskia.com.
Diamonds Direct's biggest and most spectacular sale of the year is starting now. For the first time, it's bigger than ever. Take 20% off virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, everything to make this holiday sparkle. This weekend, we're decking the halls with an expanded selection and top designers' appearances in the store. 20% off now through Sunday. Skip the Black Friday madness this year with Diamonds Direct. Open all weekend. For the best selection, quality, and price, shop direct. Get details at diamondsdirect.com.
You can use your phone at a doctor's office. You can use your phone at a football game. You can even use your phone at an amusement park. But one place you should never use your phone is behind the wheel. Fines now start at $150. So remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Meyer knows that Thanksgiving is a time to come together, eat together, and share together. During the week of Thanksgiving, November 24th through the 30th, when you buy Meyer brand foods, our Simply Give program will feed up to 4 million neighbors in need. So when you bring that perfectly fluffed stuffing to the table, the cranberry sauce and green bean casserole, you're actually bringing more good to more neighbors. Let's bring more good to Thanksgiving with Meyer brand and Simply Give. Exclusions apply. See Meyer.com for details.
Come try Skyline Chili's new mac and cheese three-way, made with creamy cavatappi pasta in a 3-cheese blend, topped with Skyline chili and their shredded Wisconsin cheddar. The new mac and cheese three-way at participating Skyline locations for a limited time.
If you have an unhealthy obsession with the Blue Jackets, we have just the remedy. Join us Wednesday nights at 7 for the Inside Edge. All the Jackets and hockey conversation you can handle. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Would you believe that giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people? Or that a single cloud can weigh 550 tons or more? Sounds fake, right? How about an insurance company that actually treats you right? Sounds unbelievable, but it's true. NJM Insurance is proud to put policyholders first. And they don't use jingles or mascots either. Don't believe me? Well, guess what? Everything in this commercial is true and approved by the legal department. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Visit NJM.com for a quote.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here, and I want to tell you about one of my guilty pleasures during the football season. Eating some chips, eating some wings and veggies with my favorite dips while watching football. Got the kid running around, the dog running around. It's very easy. Got a new dip addiction. Or as William likes to say, dip. Daisy sour cream, they came out with a French onion and a ranch dip. They're a total game changer. Maybe even better than the homemade dips I make at home. Real herbs, real spices and ingredients that you'd find in your own kitchen. And I would suggest you to try them. We all know the jingle. Dollop of Daisy. Well, a dollop of Daisy is even better with a dip of Daisy. Go try them out right now.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Ohio has over 920,000 diabetics. If you are a diabetic, take a step in the right direction by having your feet checked routinely by a podiatric physician, the most qualified doctors to care for your feet. Adding a podiatrist to your healthcare team can help you better manage the effects of diabetes on your feet. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Fan weather. From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
It is cloudy. Temperatures are in the 40s by the afternoon. Look at this. We are in the middle 60s. It is going to be a cloudy and dry day today. Rain returns tomorrow with a high of 64. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
FanDuel is the exclusive online sportsbook partner of Morning Juice. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/juice. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
What's the going rate for a good babysitter? Also, Shark needs a raise. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Coming up here, 8:33, Joshua Perry. He's going to join the program. We'll react to the college football slate this week.
Yeah, wait.
A little bit with him. Hey.
Oh, breaking news.
Tough one for Giants fans. Good news. Tommy DeVito's now going to be the starting quarterback for the Giants. Danny Dimes benched. See you later, pal. You're out of here.
Dime time is over?
Yeah. Dime time done.
No more dime bags in New York.
No, unfortunately for him. Tommy DeVito going to be the starting quarterback for the New York Giants.
When did they play?
I don't think they played this week.
They benched him on the bye week?
I don't think they played. Did they play?
No.
I think they were off this week.
They are. Bye weeks. Giants,
Boy,
Cards,
that bye
Bucks.
week. That's a tough one.
Well, how bad do you have to be in practice, Shark, to get benched during the bye week?
You didn't even bench him last week. You could have had 2 weeks to install Tommy DeVito.
I'm guessing they probably were looking through.
I don't know, Bob. It's the Giants.
I like Dayball, though. I think he's a good coach. I don't know.
Got him to the playoffs in his first year.
Well,
and then signed him the contract
That's the
extension.
problem.
Yeah.
You can only hope to maybe the Bears turn it around this year and they give Eberflus an extension beam.
That would be great.
Wouldn't that be sweet?
God, wouldn't that be sweet? Yeah, so anyways, saw that come down in the NFL a couple minutes ago. Danny Jones, benched. Tommy DeVito, now you're starting quarterback for the Giants. Head to your waiver wire. I'm sure you're going to want to claim Tommy DeVito as you get closer and closer to your fantasy football.
Have they fired what's his name in Jacksonville yet?
No.
That's still a
Doug
thing?
Peterson or Trent Baalke. Who had the article on Saturday night? Was it Ian Rappaport? I think it was Rappaport that had the article that came out and said, like, if they don't win this game on Sunday, then there's a high likelihood that they're going to have to move a different direction down in Jacksonville with Doug Peterson and Trent Baalke.
Well, and then I saw another thing come out that said maybe Baalke and Belichick, the big time combo. Baalke is a snake. Like, he will throw anybody under the bus to save his own job. And there's a number of people that would corroborate that for me. And I'd heard that, long before, but he is someone that will always push it on the head coach. And so he came in there with Urban, and obviously there was plenty of blame to go around with some of the stuff that happened there. But you're seeing a lot of similar things, and now it's all on Doug Peterson again. I don't know.
At least they looked good yesterday.
Did they?
Yeah, they looked awesome.
Yeah, against the Lions. Defense looked really strong.
Jared Goff was 24 for 29, 412 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
I mean, when you're setting records beam like against you defensively, you know how hard it is to score 7 touchdowns in an NFL game?
They've done it multiple times.
Yeah, I know, but then when it's against you, it feels that much more personal. I don't know how they lost to the Bucs.
I don't either. Meredith was asking me that yesterday. She's like, who did they lose to? The Vikings when they were on their tear? I'm like, that's a good point. I don't know. I think they beat the Vikings. And it was like a week 3 or 4 game.
At home, week 2.
Yeah, that's an albatross. That one's not coming back on the scorecard. Even though Todd Bowles is doing a nice job with Baker, but they've had injury issues. They're a different team than the Buccaneers are a different team now.
Well, yeah, they don't have both their 2 top flight receivers. So yeah, they're a much different squad. This Lions team, man, they're legit and they're poised. I would like to see them win a Super Bowl. I mean, they're one of someone. We were having this conversation with my producer on XM. He's like, who are the teams that have never made the Super Bowl? I'm like, well, the Browns, the Lions, the Jags, the Texans. I think there's only 4. I go, well, then that would be it. I think every other franchise has made it. And I go, the Texans really new, Jags still not
25 years or so.
30 probably now. I think they opened up in like 92, 93, 4, somewhere in there, close to 30. But I go, really?
95, 30 years.
Yeah. But I'm like, really, the disappointing ones are the Browns and the Lions that are 2 of the
They've been around a long time.
A long time. They're 2 of the oldest franchises in the NFL. And they haven't made like that. That is sad. Very depressing. And the sad thing was they used to be really good before the Super Bowl was around.
Yeah, the Lions are on a war path right now.
They are.
They're at the Colts, home against the Bears on Thanksgiving, home against the Packers, home against the Bills, at the Bears, at the 49ers, home against the Vikings.
He was on a warpath. Our guy, Will Levis, threw another interception.
Did he? Yeah. Good. I didn't watch a second of that Titans game yesterday.
I was checking in on it to make sure the Vikings won, make sure Rothman was going to be happy.
He's going to be feeling great. They're in prime position.
No, the Lions are too much better. They're not good. The fact that Jameis didn't throw a pick yesterday was pretty impressive. Yeah. I thought if you're going to let him throw
Bobby threw for 395 yards, no picks, 2 touchdowns. They lost by 3 scores.
He threw it 46 times. That's a lot of opportunities for people to get the hand on the ball.
Sure is.
So,
how'd you like Carnell Tate's performance Saturday for Ohio State?
I thought it was great. And I've thought this for the entirety of the year. I'm like, with the amount of attention that Emeka and Jeremiah get, like Carnell Tate is very good. I don't think people truly realize here how talented he is. And I say here, meaning just like Ohio State fans, the coaches know. And so that's going to be your third receiver matchup. And to watch him go out there and make those plays down the field and to show that level of consistency, I think that they're going to be leaning into that a lot more. And as we were talking about Emeka getting double teamed earlier with Spencer Holbrook at 7:33, you're going to be able to see Mecca get opened up because people aren't going to get beat like that.
Yeah.
Like the shots over the top are what are going to kill. You can try to double. You can try to double JJ. You can work some bracket stuff in the slot with Emeka. But if you do that, you are leaving yourself exposed on the other side. And if you can give it Will enough time, Will Howard can throw a deep ball. He has proven it. He has thrown some good ones this last couple of weeks. And Saturday, I think in Wrigley, you saw what he can ultimately be.
You want to hear Ryan Day from after the game, talking in his post-game press conference just about Carnell Tate. It's a very good answer.
Carnell's not someone who talks about himself or really even want me talking about him right now and everything that he's been through. But we all know that he lost his mom, and he does not show that every day when he's here. And we say it all the time that the game doesn't care about what you've been through. When you cross that line, you go onto the field, the game doesn't really care, but we do. His teammates do, his coaches do, the people who know Carnell care a lot about him. And, just the way that he's handled himself has just been an example to everybody. And, we care a lot about him. And to see him get 2 touchdown passes in his hometown in front of I think he had over 25 people here watching him. I know it means a lot to him, but it also means a lot to us. And I'm really happy for him today.
He means a whole heck of a lot in that building.
Absolutely. And he's a quiet guy. So I'm saying their receiver room is one of the quietest rooms you will find. For the quality of players they have and usually the personality that is attached to players at those positions, they are not that. And for him to do that at home in front of all his friends and family, and his mom not being there, from being passed away about a year ago. Was it this summer? Last summer?
Last summer.
It's been a minute, but he has been through a lot, and he's a tough kid, tough as nails. And I'm fairly certain there was a concerted effort to make sure that he was going to have some opportunities and to be able to do that. So very happy for him. And I think also ultimately it showed a little bit more of unlocking another key and another door to this offense with what you can see them do.
Great day from him at Wrigley again. 4 catches, 52 yards, a couple of them being touchdown grabs. Joshua Perry, he's going to react to the college slate with us next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Taking a look outside right now. No crashes on the map. Watching things get busy on I-71 near downtown and on 33 out in Plain City. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
The holidays are right around the corner. Get a holiday loan from BMI Federal Credit Union and choose a loan amount from $1,000 to $5,000. Visit bmifcu.org/holiday loan for details.
Need a new health insurance plan? Don't feel like you have to search for one on your own. There's Health Markets. When you visit healthmarkets.com, you can speak with a licensed insurance agent in your area and get personalized recommendations. With Health Markets, you can feel confident you're choosing a health insurance plan that fits your needs and your budget. See how easy it can be to search for your next health insurance plan with healthmarkets.com. Visit healthmarkets.com today. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts.
What's better than giving a gift everyone wants? Getting free gas and groceries by earning perks on gift cards purchased at Giant Eagle, Market District, and Get-Go. Choose from hundreds of gift cards to make everyone merry this holiday season from the biggest retailers and best brands, all while earning you free gas and groceries. Stop in our stores for bonus perk offers on gift cards. Give the gift everyone wants and get a little something for yourself, too. The holidays are magical at Giant Eagle, Market District, and Get-Go.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
We have a lot of football happening. I'm here to help. Set your radio preset to the Fan. Very good. Now set the second one to ESPN Columbus. It's the HD2 button. Lastly, go to the Fan's HD3 and save the Fan 3. Crisis averted. You're welcome.
Diamonds Direct's biggest and most spectacular sale of the year is starting now. For the first time, it's bigger than ever. Take 20% off virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, everything to make this holiday sparkle. This weekend, we're decking the halls with an expanded selection and top designers appearances in the store. 20% off now through Sunday. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. Open all weekend. For the best selection, quality, and price, shop direct. Get details at diamondsdirect.com.
Football is all about scoring big, and so is Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. With 4 dealerships and a collision center, you're sure to find the perfect vehicle. Plus, every vehicle purchase comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. Our Carvenience service picks up your car, gives you a rental, and returns it without you lifting a finger. Score big today. Experience the difference and visit HindererMotorCompany.com. We love what moves you.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak high. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
FX presents American Sports Story. Aaron Hernandez.
Football is all I got. Everything's okay when I'm playing ball.
You can't make mistakes, Aaron. People are watching you.
From executive producer Ryan Murphy.
Is there something that you want to tell me?
You don't know the kind of thoughts I have.
Aaron!
FX's American Sports Story. Aaron Hernandez. All new Tuesdays on FX. Stream on Hulu.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. FeelGreatColumbus.com. The Fan.
In high school, Bobby was a district swimming finalist. Also, Beamer still wears floaties. This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here tomorrow at this very time, Uncle Bo Bishop. He's going to join the program. We'll talk some Paysom or Taysom Hill with him, what he did to the Browns. As of now, though, every Reaction Monday, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline, checking with our great friend. He is Joshua Perry. JP, thanks for the time. Normally, I'd ask you about the Buckeye performance. We'll get to them in a second. But since you explicitly stated to me yesterday via text message, we can start with a Chicago Bears conversation. The floor is yours. Say whatever you want.
No, I just wanted to see how you were feeling. It's such an interesting thing being here in the city of Chicago. I'm reading my timeline. I'm in my group chats with my work friends who are from Chicago, and they're like, "Oh man, first half was great. They did such a good job of creating the scheme, and Caleb looked great, and this defense is, they're doing what they need to do." And even when you have a chance to kick a field goal to win the game, nobody ever feels like they're actually going to do it because they can't. I think that there are certain franchises that are cursed at this point. I think we're getting to that point with collegiate programs. My PSA to people is when your franchises are not doing well and they haven't been doing well for years, stop giving them your money. Stop buying tickets. Stop buying jerseys. Stop watching the games because they have no incentive to actually improve. And I think that's where the Bears are right now. And a lot of the teams here really in Chicago, but the Bears specifically, people keep showing up for them, and they're terrible. And so I would just be terrible, too, if I'm going to keep collecting checks.
I just love to be miserable, Joshua. I mean, that's the premise of most Midwestern sports teams. Just kind of lean in on the bad.
The good news, JP, I feel like they can't hurt me anymore. I was devastated by the Hail Mary. And then yesterday when when the Packers blocked the kick, I just started laughing. I'm like, yeah, that's about that. That makes sense to me. I watched a video of a young Bears fan screaming and crying on a couch watching it, and I just want to say to him this morning that it won't get any better. Stop caring, to your point. Stop
amazing.
It.
Do you think they should have tried to run another play before?
Yes, multiple. They had 30 seconds left.
That's a real issue for me is like it just feels like Flus doesn't know how to be a real coach. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah, Shane Waldron was the scapegoat. Matt Eberflus is the problem.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
No, he really is the problem. By the way, they've been through 20 coordinators, so it's never been the coordinator's fault. Neither here nor there.
Don't worry, it's going to get fixed next year for sure. It's about time they came up. Actually, it won't. It's never going to get fixed, and it's going to be a disaster. What do you think about Ohio State's performance Saturday, Wrigley against Northwestern, JP?
I mean, slow start, weird situation, no doubt, right? Playing at Wrigley is certainly not an ideal place to play. And I thought Northwestern, to their credit, came out really good game plan. Kurtz, the wide receiver for them, he had been banged up. He's healthy. It makes a difference. I definitely like their quarterback, Jack Loss, and what he's able to do for their offense, both throwing it and running the football, right? So it's you get a team who certainly wants to knock off one of the top teams in the country. They're playing in one of the historic venues in their hometown. You're going to get their best shot early, and Ohio State did. Guess what? You weather the storm, right? You go and get a few drives in there, you make the adjustments, and then you start to impose your will. And that was the big thing for me is once the momentum turned for Ohio State, I thought they did a great job of just keeping the momentum on their side. Was it the prettiest game I've ever seen from the Buckeyes? No. Was it the game that they probably needed to play just to again, get through that first part of the game and then dominate and leave no doubt toward the end? Absolutely. So I thought it was a fine performance overall. Really happy as many people were for Carnell Tate coming back to his hometown and having a big game. And it was something that the team had talked about during the week and Ryan Day had really talked about, and Carnell's been through a ton. So absolutely excited that he was able to perform. But you had to get that one out the way, had to get out there with a clean victory, had to get out there with a fairly healthy victory. And now you're preparing for a top 5 matchup in a huge game that's going to determine whether you get to compete for a Big Ten championship or not.
Some other games around the college football world. A lot of things moving. Joshua, kind of what were your thoughts of the overall weekend? Any other games that you thought swayed the balance of power in the CFP significantly?
Yeah, I mean, first off, thank God BYU finally lost the game. It felt like it was something that was supposed to happen, something we were waiting to see, and they did it. So it becomes an interesting thing there in the Big 12. Arizona State is now back in there, and they control their own destiny. They play BYU this upcoming weekend. It's not a game that I think anybody would have thought was big, but it ends up being a big one. And people have watched Colorado as they've gotten much better throughout the year. Big 12 will be interesting to watch down the stretch. The ACC is a little bit of a mess, but the weekend kind of went the way that it needed to for the teams who were still competing within that conference there. Of course, we're going to look at the SEC and Georgia being able to get the win. I got to say, I've been highly critical of Carson Beck over the last few weeks. He has not looked very good, has not looked like himself. I think in this last game, they needed him to step up, and he looked more confident throwing the football down the field. There was always that interesting thing when we got the rankings released and Georgia was on the outside looking in, and everybody's losing their mind. For me, it was very much it's hard to deny the talent, but Georgia had played some bad football this year, and so I'm not going to stump for them. The Georgia I would stump for is the one where Carson Beck is playing better, and the run game becomes a little bit more of a focus, and their defense is playing at a championship level. I thought we saw some of those things on Saturday. That'll be an interesting thing to watch down the stretch, too.
He is Joshua Perry with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. What did you make of that night game? I know you were watching this one closely, the Oregon-Wisconsin game. Oregon scores 10 points in the fourth. Wisconsin comes up a little bit short. And then yesterday, Fick having to fire his offensive coordinator, Phil Longo.
Yeah, I mean, for Wisconsin, their side of it, Luke Fickell doesn't have a big win as the head coach there yet. And so that would have been obviously a huge one. Knock off number one, you do it at home. That would have been the program win that he needed in the early part of his tenure. Certainly couldn't get there, but they were able to make that game really, really just, lucky for Oregon. And they did it against Penn State, too, when they had them a few weeks ago at home, at least for a half a game. So there's signs of life. The Oregon thing, the last few weeks, it certainly has felt like they've kind of slowly come back down to earth as a team that looks like they're flawed, just like the rest of college football. They were dealing with some injuries, so I give the benefit of the doubt with the injuries and the travel. Did not look like the number one team in the country. And Dan Lanning is funny, man, because he does stuff that's really aggressive, and I love it. But I feel like it's also the reason why, if I was a coach, I probably couldn't do it as good as him. I would get fired. And that fake punt in the fourth quarter, late in the game. I don't know why you would do that. If you want to go for it, just go for it. But keep your offense in there and try to do that. Almost let Wisconsin back in the game. All that to say, either one of those teams, Wisconsin, came up short. I think Oregon's probably looking at the last 2 weeks and saying, where can we get better? In terms of Phil Longo and the offensive coordinator there at Wisconsin, that was a move that needed to happen. Just from watching it, I don't ever think that Longo and Luke Fickell were on the same page in what they wanted the philosophy to be and how they want to execute it. And I said this on Twitter yesterday, or X, whatever you want to call it now. They call it excretions instead of tweets, I guess. But they need a guy who can modernize offense, but also try to run for 250 a game. And I know people are like, who's running for 250? All right, give me 200 a game. Give me 185 a game. But the idea is, for example, Luke Fickell, coached me at Ohio State, spent a lot of time there, was there for the Urban days. We had offenses that averaged 500 yards a game, and we ran it for 250, for 280, for 300 a game one year is what we did, right? They were modern offenses. Everybody talks about the spread offense coming to the Big Ten, but it was a power run game. Wisconsin has big people. They got the tight ends. They have a history of running backs that has to be the DNA, but it can be modern too, and I think that's what he's trying to find right now.
JP, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a great rest of the week, buddy, and we'll check in again next Monday, all right?
All right. Take care, fellas.
There he goes, Joshua Perry with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We're going to reveal our fan poll next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan Traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Taking a look outside right now. No crashes on the map. Watching things get busy on I-71 near downtown and on 33 out in Plain City. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Get Eco.
ECO. Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. Here's something that ECO stands for that you did not see coming. Okay. Echocardiogram. I did not see that coming.
Get Eco.
ECO. Most people think if they call someone about their furnace or heat pump, some unscrupulous salesman is going to pressure them to buy a whole new unit, even if their old one could be repaired and give them years more service.
Get Eco.
ECO. Your heart starts racing and you're sweating and breathing funny and your echocardiogram just goes nuts. I'll say. As the guy who invented those hospital wristbands that always stick to your arm hair, I know a thing or two about echocardiograms.
Get Eco.
ECO. But call ECO and our team will explain all your options, what you can fix, how much it costs, and how that compares to a whole new system. And your echocardiogram? Nice and flat. I mean flat-ter. Actually, flat is bad. Don't worry, they didn't let me invent any of the medical stuff.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Scotty Vegas here, and let's talk about turning back the clock, really turning it back. Awaken 180 Golden has always been a game changer for weight loss for those ages 60 and over, but now we're talking age reversal, both body and mind. Feeling like you did 10, even 20 years ago. Feel sharper, more agile, stronger, and mentally on top of your game. How? In addition to fast, proven weight loss for those over 60, Awaken 180 Golden now includes sleep coaching, falling asleep quicker, staying asleep, daily meal plans, yes, the simplicity, and most importantly, natural supplements designed to promote brain age and physical age reversal. It's a full reboot to improve your memory, clarity, energy, and yes, weight loss. Awaken 180 Golden isn't just about looking good, it's about feeling incredible on the inside too. Learn how Awaken 180 Golden can turn back the clock for you. Put more life back in your life with the solution for weight loss online at awaken180weightloss.com.
The Buckeye Show.
Scarf down the disgusting refrigerated chili dogs. Long story short, I'm missing the Cardale Jones celebrity softball game the next day.
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by Care Source.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Common Man here for Jermaine Lexus of Dublin and Easton. It's that time of year. The red bows are not out yet, but I saw someone at the dealership dusting them off. We know what that means. In the meantime, Jermaine Lexus has great inventory on both new and L certified to pick from right now with 3.49% up to 60 months on their most popular models like the ES, RX, and NX. If you're in the market, please do check them out. Jermaine Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, JermaineLexus.com.
When you have the lowest prices every day feels like Black Friday. That's why Bob's is unboxing incredible values every Friday in November. Oh, no, not a boxing match. We're unboxing unbeatable values for your home. We're talking beautiful bedroom sets, feature-packed power sofas, dining sets, pop-up sleepers, decor, and more, all at wow-worthy prices. Now you're getting it? So check back every Friday for a new unboxing, because every day is like Black Friday at Bob's Discount Furniture.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing kit. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable. And one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 40 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shield Guards RealFit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 void in Mississippi.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Today, nice and mild, but it will remain cloudy, high 63. Tonight, we dip down to around 52. And then as we head into your Tuesday, look for showers with a high of 64. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Saturday is game day on The Fan.
Sponsored by Riker Chevy.
Every game every season. Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. One of these guys thinks Clintonville was named after Bill Clinton. You're listening to Morning Juice.
We are the Juice, brought to you by our good friends over at Affinity Whole Health, the leader in testosterone and hormone replacement therapy. You can always visit them on the line at feelgreatcolumbus.com. Uncle Bo and the boys going to be up till noon after we're done. A reaction Monday for them. They'll talk some Buckeyes, they'll talk some Browns, they'll talk some Bengals. And Austin Ward, he's going to join the program coming up here at 10:33, a little bit later on with those guys. I did see this number. I don't know who feels worse today, being a Bengals fan or a Browns fan. I mean, the Browns kept you in the game until the fourth quarter, and then it was over. The Bengals weren't in the game the first half. Like, we're just getting their brains beat in.
Well, then Joe Burrow causes Burrow time, gets you back to where you need to be.
Comes alive.
Then you get killed by a Buckeye, which is... That's probably the worst.
But you missed 2 field goals on the way in to get killed.
By the way, I thought that was I don't understand.
I don't.
How
if we draw the lines straight up from the field goal posts, I don't know if that's good or not. I don't know what technology they have to say that field goal wasn't good.
It's just like the fact that that's what it's coming down to, and that's how they're operating. Like, they put themselves in this situation.
Was it?
And so. It's what happens.
Bob, was it Jaden Fielding a couple of weeks ago against Purdue? Was it the Purdue game? If I'm remembering correctly, like, he kicked the field goal and it was the exact same situation, like over the top of the left upright. I want to say either the left or the right. I don't know which side it was.
About the Penn State one where it somehow ended up behind the goal with like a nice hard draw on it beam.
Was it Penn State?
Penn State, I think, is what you're thinking of.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't have cared in the Purdue game because it was a kick of not.
I wouldn't have cared.
It wasn't a kick of consequence. That one against Penn State, I think, was that kick in the second half. And you're like, got to get points here. And you're like, I'm in agreement with
you. But yeah, you're right. I mean, the two missed field goals by Money Mac. Got to change his name. And then the Chargers go down the field. They get you into field goal range. And like a smart coach, Jim Harbaugh runs a couple of more plays, and the one play being a however many yard touchdown it was for J.K. Dobbins. So opposite side of that, like the Browns kept you in the game until the fourth quarter, got shelled in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Bengals dead up until the second half, and then let you down at the very end.
That late letdown beam, that was not what you were feeling either, watching J.K. just kill you in your own shop.
I saw John Breach say this.
I love J.K., though.
It's great. He had a couple of touchdowns last night, did a little over the top, too. Like, it's a good performance. He's having a great, great season out there in L.A. It's awesome to see. There have been 19 instances this season where a quarterback threw for at least 250 yards, 3 touchdowns with 0 interceptions. Here's what the win-loss record looks like for those quarterbacks. In all of those instances, the entire starting quarterbacks in the NFL are 14-2 with those. Joe Burrow is 0-3.
It's pretty good. That means the rest of your team's helping you out.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to swallow right there.
Here's one for you, Beam.
Yeah.
There have been 4 teams that have won games this year without scoring a touchdown.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh's done it twice.
Yeah.
Nothing like a good 18 to.
I'm telling you what,
whatever.
man. Like, at the beginning of the season, I wasn't high on the Steelers. I'm never going to do that again. They're such a well-run organization.
You didn't know they were still unlimited, Beam.
I didn't know that. You're right. I should have known. And Justin got them to a spot where they're very good, and Russ keeps doing his thing.
Unlimited. Justin came in yesterday and had a couple runs for him. Now he slid a little too early on the one, so they.
Oh man, he got up and first down. No,
because they start at where you begin your slide. He should have just dove forward. Then it would have been all good. But he's a baseball guy, so he's got a pretty sweet slide.
Yeah, they're awesome to watch. I don't really understand them, but they're fantastic.
No, it's because they.
See what Mike Tomlin said? I'm tired of giving Chris Boswell player of the game. He said that like it's a great line. He's doing it well, though.
I love him. I really do enjoy Tomlin. He's a heck of a coach.
He is a heck of a coach. Said about Patrick Queen, well, another man's trash is another man's treasure. That guy's playing pretty well for us.
Yeah.
That's a great line, too.
He does some subtle trolling to him. Like, he doesn't make it big and overt, but he'll throw some small stuff out there.
Was it last year when they asked him if he was like leaving or the Notre Dame job? Well, I forget when it was. A couple of years ago, they asked him about some like big prestigious college job, and he just straight up looked at the reporter and walked off the podium. You remember that?
Yeah.
He's just like, I don't have time for this. See you later. I'm out.
Ain't nobody got time for this.
Yeah, they're 8-2. I mean, they got an outside shot at getting the 1 seed in the AFC. I mean, you had the Chiefs lose yesterday. By the way, Josh Allen and the power of friendship on that 4th down play. Whoa. That was awesome to watch. They're 9-2. Steelers are 8-2. And then the Chiefs are 9-1. I mean, yeah, the Ravens could kind of get back into it, but I mean, they're 2-2 in the division. Steelers still have 5 division games to play.
That's what's wild is they've backloaded these division. About when did they start doing that, Shark? About 5 or 6 years ago, I felt like they started backloading the schedule with division games so they would have more games of consequence. So you couldn't rest people at the end. And now it's like you're halfway through and you start looking at the NFC North and you're like, my goodness, no one's played. Well, I guess the Packers have played 3, but most people played 2 division games.
That was the Bears' first division game yesterday.
Yeah, that was the Bears' first. It's the same thing in the AFC North where I guess the Ravens are 2-2, but some have played 1. Steelers have only played 1. Some have played 2 or 3. It's pretty wild. So you're going to have a lot of nice matchups that'll be of consequence towards the end of the season.
Steelers get an Ohio sandwich coming up here. Browns, Bengals on the road, then the Browns at home.
Tastes pretty good.
Yeah, it does. Really does.
Probably to them.
At the Eagles, at the Ravens, home against the Chiefs, home against the Bengals. It's a nice run-in for them. It's a pretty good run-in.
Yeah, it's going to be fun here this next month, Beam.
I'm never going to doubt them. Never going to doubt them again, Steelers. They're just really well run.
How do you feel on this Monday? After a full show, Indiana coming to town, college game day.
I feel like
a 2-5 matchup.
I'm excited about this week. I'm really looking forward to this. It's just something that we didn't think was ever going to happen. And Indiana is a hell of a football team.
What's your level of anxiety for this game?
Like right now?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Sure.
No anxiety.
Yes, of course. I'm a nervous nerd.
Why? The Browns are getting all the losses out of the way for you.
You got 5 days to go before the game.
No,
I'll work myself there.
I know, but
that's what she said.
At about 3, not even 3:30. Man, that game ended like at 2:55.
It's the first time we've ever come on the air for the postgame show before 4 o'clock.
Well, because the Northwestern just sat on the ball.
I'm watching Clemson and Pittsburgh play until 4 o'clock.
Yes, there was a whole fourth quarter to play when the Buckeyes game ended. Anyway, I got nervous
first
about
quarter was
3
like 20
o'clock.
minutes.
Yeah.
What?
I am nervous. I'm nervous about this game because I know Indiana, their opponent's winning percentage is like .373 this season, but they're blowing everybody
Hall of Fame
out.
in Major League Baseball.
Beamer, what's the line on that game?
It started at 10.5. It's moved to 11.
Okay, I was going to say probably just at double digits.
Yeah, it moved to half a point yesterday.
Okay. In favor of the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
So there's not Vegas, but the people betting on Vegas's line think that Indiana might be a little fluky.
Well,
it's up to 11.5 now. It's moved a full point.
We'll get into this a lot more throughout the week. They're a really good team, but they don't have any high-level talent. And when that's the case and you have another team that plays well, now, listen, Ohio State is very capable of losing this game should they choose to give it away. But if they go out there and execute, like, there's nobody. Carnell Tate would be their best first, second, and third receiver.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Before we get out of here today, our fan poll at 971thefan.com or on Twitter at 971thefan. Did you attempt to watch the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight Friday, yes or no? 48% saying yes, 52% saying no. Shark, do you watch it? I know you have Netflix.
I don't have Netflix, Beam, and I did not attempt to watch it.
I attempted.
Now, I did find out that the NFL has a doubleheader on Netflix on Christmas Day, so we have moved Christmas to Megan's house because she's got Netflix.
Perfect. There you go.
You could just log in at your house on Netflix on her account, but either way.
I'm not a cheater, Bob.
That doesn't make any sense. It's hers. She's paying for it.
It'd be hers. She's the one actually logging on and doing it.
Bob, I had so much fun today. What do you say we reconvene on a big Tuesday if they allow us? You good with that?
Let's do it.
Everybody have a great day. Uncle Bo and the boys are next. We're back live tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. to break everything down. Have a good one. Talk to you then. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we're watching a crash on I-670 eastbound. The left lane blocked off just past High Street as you're approaching the 71-670 split. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
This is a Fan Action Update.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use the promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100. Buckeyes, Hoosiers, top 5 matchup in Columbus this week. Ohio State's an 11.5-point favorite over Indiana. Ohio State's minus 430 on the money line. Indiana's plus 330 to pull off the upset. Total on the game is 52.5. For your Prime Sports Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Some of those old injuries, they begin to creep up and things begin to start hurting again. I finally got to the point where I'm like, I can't just wake up and know my knee's going to be bothering me and push through this on a daily basis.
Old football injuries can't keep former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter down. So he decided to check out the all-natural regenerative pain treatments at QC Kinetics.
I was fortunate enough to obviously sit down with QC and kind of understand your body still has the ability to heal in it. We just need to give it a little bit of a boost.
Exactly. QC Kinetics concentrates your body's own healing agents in your painful hips, shoulders, knees, or back.
Everyone can say, well, you need to replace this or replace that, but it's no surprise to see people being willing to try this first, especially when it has such great results.
Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus and call today for your complimentary consultation. See if you're a good candidate. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. Again, 380-208-4544. QC Kinetics.
What's better than giving a gift everyone wants? Getting free gas and groceries by earning perks on gift cards purchased at Giant Eagle Market District and GetGo. Choose from hundreds of gift cards to make everyone merry at Giant Eagle Market District and GetGo.
The Central Ohio leader in roof repair and replacement is Roof Revivers. With over 350 5-star reviews on Google, Roof Revivers is committed to repairing roofs first before replacing them. If your roof needs repaired, visit Roof Revivers online at roofrevivers.com. Roof Revivers, we fix leaky roofs.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Adam Schefter here with Vivid Seats. We've got some late-breaking news coming out of the stands. According to multiple sources, Vivid Seats fans are scoring rewards on every purchase and at a rapid pace. Obviously, these rewards are a game changer, and coupled with their MVP-worthy ticket selection, why get tickets anywhere else? Don't drop the ball this season. Shop with Vivid Seats and earn rewards on every ticket. And as the official ticketing partner of ESPN, Vivid Seats is offering you $20 off your first $200 ticket purchase with code